It's a Big East matchup as the number 16 ranked Louisville Cardinals take on the Connecticut Huskies. ESPN Saturday Night College Football is broadcast in high definition and presented by Phillips. Cold night here in East Hartford, Connecticut. But many of the faithful, hardy fans out here tonight to see their Huskies, to see if they can become bowl eligible. Hi, everybody. Ron Franklin along with Bob Davie and, of course, Holly Rowe. Holly will be along very shortly. For the Louisville Cardinals, the good news is a Gator Bowl berth is already wrapped up. Plus the fact they get a running back by the name of Bush back this evening, which is extremely good news. The downside, they have lost their starting quarterback for the season. Bob, talk about the difference it'll make with a very green and young fella at the QB spot tonight.
Ron, Louisville is a great offense. They average 46 points a game, but it all changes because the injury to quarterback Brian Brown. Tonight, freshman walk-on quarterback Hunter Cantwell gets a first start of his career. Even though the Louisville coaches say he's talented, the truth is no one knows how he will respond tonight. He's only thrown 11 passes all year. The good news for Louisville, tailback Michael Bush is back after missing the last 2 games with a foot injury. He weighs 250 pounds. He averages 116 yards a game on the ground.
As far as the home team is concerned, the Huskies of UConn, as you see them with their head coach, they're about to come into the stadium tonight. They got to have a win tonight to become bowl eligible. They're at 500 right now at 5-5, and here come the Huskies out of the tunnel right now. Interesting situation for UConn. They have also lost their starting quarterback for this final regular season game. However, Bob, to me, they've been winning on defense primarily, so does it make quite as big a difference to them as the situation for Louisville?
I don't think it does, Ron. And for Connecticut to win, they have to play great defense. If you look at the statistics, they're capable of doing that. They enter the game number 6 in the country in total defense. They're number 1 on third down defense. Their style is simple. Outnumber Louisville in the running game and force them to throw. You watch Connecticut tonight, they'll have 9 defenders close to the line of scrimmage on rundowns, and they will force Louisville quarterback Hunter Cantwell to make some throws down the field.
So stick with us. Kickoff is just moments away tonight here in East Hartford, Connecticut. The Huskies playing host to the 16th ranked Cardinals of Louisville.
ESPN's College Football Primetime, brought to you by Zales. Be brilliant.
Well, part of the student section right there is we prepare to get this one underway at the Retschler Field, which I mentioned is in East Hartford. And it's time now to visit with the third member of our broadcast team. Let's go down to the sideline. Holly Rowe.
Well, Ron, as you might have guessed, in December in Connecticut, it is very cold down here. The Connecticut players say that this might be an advantage for them because they are used to practicing in this weather. They felt like it was an advantage last week in their upset win against South Florida. But talking to the Louisville coaches, they don't think it's an advantage for Connecticut because it's been just as cold this week in Louisville. In fact, it snowed on Wednesday, a day that they practiced outside. And although Louisville's opened up a brand new indoor practice facility, they've only practiced in there 1 day this week. So they say they're ready for the cold weather. We'll see how it affects both teams as this game continues.
Okay, Holly, stay warm as you can. And there are the conditions. 33 degrees right now. The wind 7 miles an hour and a chance of snow tonight. Temperature is supposed to drop down into the low 20s. Around 23 degrees was the latest report late this afternoon. And we understand, as far as Louisville is concerned, this is a combination as far as their uniforms, Bob, that they have not worn before. So we'll see if that is a lucky situation as far as coming in here to Retschler Field in East Hartford, as Butler prepares to receive along with Courtney Robinson, and it's Todd Flannery who will kick it off. That's Courtney Robinson right there. Louisville won the toss and has deferred until the second half. We are underway. The Huskies looking for win number 6 and bowl eligibility. This is Butler right up the middle. 25-30, 35, cuts it back over to the sideline, and he's out to the 42-yard line. What a great way for a young quarterback by the name of D.J. Henderson to get this kind of field position to open up with, Bob.
Ron, you're right. DJ Hernandez from right down the road in Bristol, home of ESPN. We see a penalty here after that great return by Darius Butler on the kickoff. Darius Butler, incidentally, 90-yard kickoff return for a touchdown.
Personal foul, face mask.
Personal foul,
Number
face
85
mask.
on the kicking
Talk
team.
about good field position.
15-yard penalty from the end of the play. First down.
Add 15 more onto it.
And you mentioned DJ Hernandez, redshirt freshman quarterback. As much of a runner, maybe more of a runner, Ron, than a thrower. But how about the great field position? You're right. This has to give the young quarterback some confidence here in the first series.
Well, for people who don't know much about him, and unless you're from this area, you would not. He was all-state in 3 sports, in football, in basketball, and also in baseball. So as you mentioned, a very, very good athlete. Cawley, the tailback, but the quick pass goes out into the flat, and that is Brandon McLean, and immediately hit by Louisville, and the play is going to go for a loss of 1 yard. As we take a look at the starters, Cawley, McLean, Williams, Brandon Young, one of the wide receivers. The tight end is Dan Murray. Up front with the offensive line, and here's where the inexperience is on this team. Beatty, Applebaum, and Gray, Hutcherson, and Grant Preston rounding out on the right side of the offensive line. So it's 2nd down and 11. Stretch play, and this is Cawley. Tries to turn the corner, and look at the speed of that Louisville defense as they get outside to make the hit. Abe Brown is the man who made the stop. Dumerville, Stanley, Okoye, and Chad Rimsey. Those are the down 4. The linebackers, Johnson, Harris, and Abe Brown, who just made the stop. Abe is out of Sarasota, Florida. And in the secondary, Rod Council, the best as far as the cover defensive backs. Gay, Russell, and Brandon Sharp making up the rest of the secondary. Sets back in the pocket. Hernandez looking, drills the ball, has it complete as a late flag comes in, and he takes it inside the 30-yard line. 19 yards on the pass play. And we have a flag back at the 49-yard line, and it's going to be a face mask called against Louisville.
And Ron, right away you see DJ Hernandez able to keep passing plays alive with his legs. And Brandon Young came wide open against zone coverage and also the face mask penalty here. Again, you see DJ Hernandez, Louisville, in just a 4-man pass rush. Good job of keeping the play alive and throwing on the run. And Brandon Young, an interesting story, missed 04 season because of an automobile accident right before the season.
So first down at the 28-yard line. Brockington and Cawley in the backfield with Hernandez in that I formation. And they keep it on the ground, and that's Lou Allen, who had come in at tailback, and he's going to be hit and knocked back for a loss of about 3 yards in the play.
Ron, you mentioned early the speed of this Louisville defense. I mean, they are a good defensive team. They come in ranked 21st in the country. By contrast, the UConn offense, 93rd, playing without their starting quarterback, Matt Bonoslawski, tonight. So yards and points are going to be tough to come by if you're Connecticut in this football game as we take a look at Bobby Petrino.
3rd season for him, 28-7 his numbers. 2nd down and long as UConn continues to play behind the chains, so to speak. Option back into the wide side of the field, and Hernandez is going to pick up those 4 yards that they lost just a moment ago, and now it will be 3rd down and 10 as Dumerville makes the tackle.
You see right away, you take a look at Randy Edsall, how coaches are copycats, Ron. Last week, Syracuse had success running option football in this fast Louisville defense, and Randy Edsall has done really a great job here at the University of Connecticut, taking this team from 1AA to a member of the Big East Conference tonight, playing for a bowl game opportunity.
Again, it's Cawley and Brockington in the backfield. They need to take it all the way down to the 18-yard line. Blitz coming right up the middle. He's going to be sacked. Back at the 38 by Nate Harris, number 10, the junior out of Miami by way of Dodge City Community College. And that will take them out of field goal range.
You're going to see the inside linebacker cross blitz as Nate Harris gets the sack, but also Brandon Johnson, both inside linebackers on a little bit of a cross blitz. And this UConn offensive line, young and outmatched tonight, Ron, in this football game.
Pavasaris stands back to punch. You see his numbers. High pass, but he gets the kick away. Wobbly kick, going to hit at the 5, and is going to be touched down by the Huskies way down at the 3-yard line. Branch is the man who got down to touch the ball dead after 41 yards on the punt. And it gives us an opportunity to talk about the redshirt freshman out of Paducah, Hunter Cantwell.
And a big, strong athlete down on the field before the game, standing there with Bobby Petrino, watching Hunter Cantwell. He is capable, Ron. He has skills. He's about 6'4". He's lost some weight. He's down to 220. He can throw it, but how does he manage the game? And right here, poor field position starting out.
Kobe Smith opens the game at tailback. They give the ball to him, and he bangs his way at left tackle out to around the 7.5-yard line. Now a little extracurricular activity going on. Here are the wide receivers and the running backs. Michael Bush, Joshua Tinch at wide receiver, Montrell Jones, and Harry Douglas as they start with 3 wideouts. Up front, this is the strength of this Louisville football team, particularly LeFew and Spitz over there on the left side. Eric Wood is the center. Quarterman, the right guard. And don't be surprised if you see 76 line up in the backfield. In his career, he has scored 3 touchdowns. And Darbo is the right tackle.
Well, that may be 93, Rima Fuller.
Rima Fuller, yeah, a junior out of Cocoa, Florida. Looks as though that he kind of had his bell rung a little bit as the trainers are down there and trying to make sure that he's got the cobwebs out.
You always talk about motivation going into a football game. If you just look at on paper, UConn has much more motivation when you look at a 5-5 football team,
Yeah.
Ron, playing for a potential bowl eligibility tonight at 6-5. Louisville, a lot of built-in excuses. They're already going to the Gator Bowl. Their quarterback's out. It's cold. So psychologically, you have to say the edge goes to Connecticut tonight.
Michael Bush into the lineup at tailback. 6'3", 250 pounds, and they give it to him. Up that left side, going to have the first down as he punishes his way for about 6 yards in the carry, and MJ Estep, the strong safety, is there to make the tackle. Here are the starters for UConn on defense. It's Maine, McPhee, Fuller, and Dan Davis, the down 4. The linebackers, Sowell in the middle, Lansana on the right side, and Hargrave is the strong side linebacker. And in the secondary, it is Butler and Branch at the corners, and Marvin Taylor along with Estep, number 35, the strong safety. They fake it to Bush this time, going to throw long, and the pass is in and out of the hands of his receiver at the first down marker at around the 25-yard line.
Take a look at Hunter Cantwell. You look at these offensive statistics. They really are a dynamic offense. It's a shame the country doesn't have a chance, Ron, to see Brian Brom tonight play. Injured the knee in the game against Syracuse. Number 2 in the nation in passing efficiency. Brian Brom completing 70% of his passes on the season.
Here's Bush, left side, breaks it open, has 5, has 10, going to be hit with a good ankle-high tackle, but not before he has gained 12 yards in the play, and it was Marvin Taylor who came up to make the stop. Now, let me ask you this. Well, let's look at the replay first.
Well, Ron, the thing you love about the Louisville offense, you see the wide receiver there, number 86. I believe that was Montrell Jones get a block, but they are a balanced offense. The thing I love about Bobby Petrino, he throws the football well, but he can run the football, and that helps him in this situation tonight.
Barnage and Kuhn in a dual tight end situation. Pass out here when the flag got that to Harry Douglas, and Douglas is Montrell Jones, I beg your pardon. Going to be good for 11 yards on the play.
And you see Bobby Petrino letting Hunter Cantwell throw the ball a little bit on 1st and 10 because he knows Connecticut will be up there in 8- and 9-man front.
Well, let me ask you this. He's got to play in the Gator Bowl, Bob. So you've got to get him ready. So you can't just totally put the wraps on him tonight, can you?
I agree. And you can't play so conservative and play right into the hands of a Connecticut defense that's going to put 9 guys up there. So turn him loose. He's a talented young guy.
Deontay Taylor in at fullback. They go to the left side. If you wonder why they get so hungry to go over there, LeFew and Jason Spitz are the 2 really strong guys who have tons of starts. 49 starts for LeFew at left tackle, 35 starts for Spitz at left guard, and that's where they like to go.
Ron, you're right. The NFL people love Jason Spitz, number 59, the quick side guard at 310 pounds. He is a first-round draft choice.
Bush now 3 carries for 22 yards. This time they take it to the right, and that's Colby Smith, and he is going to be tripped up. That's a good open field tackle by Branch. Holly Rowe, let's check with you.
Well, guys, Louisville's Hunter Cantwell is just a freshman walk-on. He's still not on scholarship, although he's getting his first start tonight. Talked to some of the players and coaches and asked if they had confidence in this young walk-on. Said, you know, oddly enough, the players have complete confidence in him. He had such a dominating performance against our first-team defense in the fall scrimmages. The people believe in him. So far, he's making him look good.
8th play of the drive, Holly, and this running play hit behind the line of scrimmage and knocked down Lansana, the sophomore out of Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, along with Dan Davis.
Danny Lansana, Ron, is UConn's #1 tackler. Really an active guy from his outside linebacker position. That time coming on the blitz, forces Louisville to punt it.
Flannery with the kick. UConn runs away from it. Now this thing takes a huge Louisville bounce, and look at this. Inside the 5-yard line is where they will down it. So UConn will have a long way to go after that 53-yard kick. Still no score. We have 8:02 to play opening quarter. So we are back, and you look at Cantwell on the sideline, getting his feet wet, so to speak, on that opening series. Got to go in there for a little bit and then wound up having to punt. But they have really put UConn deep in their own territory. Their worst starting position tonight. This is Allen off the right side, churning, and he's going to be close to 10 yards in the play. Nice job by Hutcherson and Preston blocking over on that right side, and Brandon Johnson, the weak side linebacker, finally made the tackle.
Lou Allen, Ron, last week a 60-yard touchdown run in the first series against South Florida. Was a fullback, becoming more of a tailback. Impressive young guy. This kid's mom and dad both are UConn grads. Dad played tailback here at Connecticut.
Now this injury right here is Keith Gray, the center, and this is a situation we talked about, the offensive line being very young and very inexperienced. Keith is a freshman, and you see over on the sideline, number 69, Trey Tonsing, who is also a freshman out of Waldorf, Maryland. So you got a freshman or a freshman, and it was Gray who beat out Tonsing to gain the position. And they're working on either his ankle or his knee on the right side.
Ron, they are so young up front. 7 of the 10 offensive linemen for Connecticut never played a snap of football when this season began. So they are mismatched, outmatched a little bit against this Louisville defense, particularly the movement that Louisville gives you up front with a lot of good athletes.
You know, the Cardinals have great quickness on that defense, and you see, well, he's really in some pain. They're going to have to help him off the field. In fact, unable to put any weight on that right leg. Not a good sign as far as whether Keith Gray will return this evening or not.
And Ron, you really do have to think in terms, at least I do as a former coach, this game will probably come down to which offensive line plays better tonight with both starting quarterbacks out. Cold night. I don't think it's going to be a real pretty high-scoring football game. This is going to be who runs the football, and Louisville with an advantage when it comes to line play on either side of the ball, really.
Well, a nice run on that first down by Lou Allen, so they've got a 2nd and short, maybe a down to play with here, Bob, as far as maybe play action and try to put one up. Or let's see if they stay a little bit more conservative and just run the football again. Allen again, the man at the top of the hour. You see the Cardinals shifting at the last moment on that defensive front. He's going to squirm through for 5 yards, and that'll move the chains. And they're not booing. It's for Lou Allen. Tell you what, he is for a guy that they thought was really just kind of a slasher, not a breakaway runner. As you mentioned just a moment ago, that long run last week, I think, even opened up the eyes of the coaches.
About 235 pounds. Met with him yesterday. Good-looking young athlete.
So Tonsing quickly out of the huddle and over the football. Terry Cawley has now come in, replacing Lou Allen at tailback. One of the things about the 3 tailbacks that play, Cawley, Brockington, and Allen, very unselfish youngsters, and they have to be in a system like this. This time it's going to be Cawley. He'll go for short yardage right up the middle. Tackled by Rod Council, the left corner. Stanislawski on the sideline, who was the starting quarterback, a junior out of Natrona Heights, Pennsylvania. He will probably still hold on extra points and field goals tonight, but can't play quarterback.
And they are 5-2 with Stanislawski as the starter, 0-2 without him. Collarbone problems really all season long for him.
2nd down and 9. They move the pocket. There's the pass overthrown, and he had the man open in the flat, but that's a tough throw across the body. Jason Williams is the one that he wanted. And now it's going to be 3rd down and long, and they're going to have to take this ball out to the 30-yard line to maintain possession.
Ron, we've talked about offensive line and running the football. With Matt Stanislawski at quarterback, they were 108th in the nation out of 117 in passing efficiency. So this is not a juggernaut when it comes to throwing the football anyhow when I talk about Connecticut's offense.
What Bob is saying is actually they cannot afford, they meaning UConn, they can't afford to have Louisville score a lot of points because they can't manufacture that many points, but they're very good on defense. So let's take a timeout. Still no score. 6:20 to play first quarter.
ESPN's College Football Primetime is presented by Polaroid. Log on to ESPN.com, search Polaroid for a chance to win a new Polaroid iZone 300 digital camera. And in part by Saturn.
Well, that was a shot of the Capitol building here at the great Commonwealth of Connecticut. Don't get to come up here that often. Went over to stores yesterday and got to visit with the coaches and the players, but also, boy, a lot of building going on that campus. Really pretty this time of year as well. So it's 3rd down. They've got to take it out to the 30-yard line if they want to hold on to the football. Hernandez retreats. They throw the middle screen and tried to take it to the outside. That Terry Cawley lost his footing, and it's going to be punting time for UConn.
And you see the respect for Elvis Doomerville. 20 sacks on the season, Ron. You're going to run screens and you're going to run draws to the side of this guy, number 58, because he will be up the field on passing downs.
Papaceris gets ready to kick this one away, and the left footer gets run into it. Here comes a flag. That's the reason the crowd is reacting. They're going to get to hold on to the football. Louisville lost it, but got back on it at the 40-yard line. But it's going to be, is it roughing or running into? Chad Rimsey is the man who ran into the punter. You see Bobby Petrino holding up the 5 fingers. That's what he wants to know. And
I think he got the 5-yard penalty from the early indication right there, running into rather than personal foul roughing. Ron, it was 3rd down and about 10.
Mm-hmm.
Running into the kicker, number 50 on Louisville. That penalty is declined. 1st down.
The punter in such a vulnerable position right there, Ron. Obviously, you see him up in the air.
And you see the Louisville player trying to hold on to him to make sure that he does not fall down. He looks back long enough to see the flag come in. Some of the UConn cheerleaders here. So first down at their own 40-yard line. We still have no score. 5:37 to play, opening period. UConn trying to win game number 6 and become bowl eligible. Louisville, they're headed to the Gator Bowl. Do we have a blown coverage? Yes. And then wide open, making the catch at the 35-yard line is Joshua Tench, a young man who had 13 catches against West Virginia earlier this year.
You see Bobby Petrino. One thing about a Bobby Petrino football team, a lot of formation groupings. Ron, they came out in 5 wide receiver empty set, and you mentioned it, really a broken coverage right there. Darius Butler, the young corner, I'm not sure if he broke the coverage or not, but empty formation, had a tough time adjusting right there, the Connecticut defense.
Good for 25 yards in the play. Colby Smith is in at tailback. And now Hunter Cantwell is going to call timeout. So we'll take a break. 5:08 remaining, opening quarter, still no score.
This telecast is available on ESPN HD, sponsored by Philips Flat TVs with Ambilight. To get ESPN HD, call your cable operator or satellite provider.
Welcome back. One of the heaters working overtime here on the sideline, and you notice that's on the Louisville side of the field. And Bob, I still haven't been able to pick up a heater on the UConn side. Do they not have it?
They're playing that mind game. They don't want Louisville to see them shiver over there on that sideline, Ron. That's part of that psychological advantage for the Huskies. They don't call them Huskies for nothing now.
That's right. Huskies are supposed to be
exactly right.
Accustomed to cold weather.
Start, number 76 on the offense. 5-yard penalty, remains first down.
One of the things Bobby Petrino told me before the game, Ron, he may have Hunter Cantwell look over as we see our cameraman took the heater off the Connecticut sideline. That's why the heater's not on the Connecticut sideline. But Bobby Petrino told us he was going to do a lot of the checking for Hunter Cantwell. In other words, Hunter Cantwell was going to look over at the sidelines and get the checks from Bobby Petrino. Maybe the reason for some of the miscommunication here earlier.
And no, Jimmy, he would not have stolen that heater. Great protection this time, throws it complete, and that's a good open field tackle on Tench. Tench now with his second catch. As I mentioned, he had 13 against West Virginia, and it's Branch defensively.
And Ron, just the keys for Louisville overall in this football game. I think first, no excuses. Be motivated. This is one of your 11 games. Doesn't matter if you're going to the Gator Bowl or not. Offense, don't be too conservative. Don't play into the hands of Connecticut's defense, and handle the movement on defense.
The lone setback is Colby Smith, the junior out of Tallahassee. And this is going to be close to the first down, and they're going to say down around the 25.5-yard line. Holly Road, let's check with you again.
Well, guys, UConn is not playing too much of my game. There actually are some heaters over here. They're just littler ones. They're kind of shaped like a shower head, and it disperses the heat a little better. So they do have some over here. They might be trying to sneak them in so they don't look soft.
Okay, Holly. I know you were there to do the report, but I don't blame you. I'd stay a little closer to him if I were you. Third down and about a foot is what they need. Cantwell will hand it off straight ahead, and they're going to have the first down. Yeah, and they're... I thought Bob was signaling me that there was a fumble.
I did too. I thought the ball came out, Ron.
It is first down. Smith tackled by Lansana. Danny, the sophomore out of Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. 6 feet, 240 pounds. Great athlete. He was a state champion his junior year in high school. Michael Bush is going to come back into the lineup. Number 19. Junior out of Louisville Male High School. Boy, how many great athletes has that high school put up? Play action, throwing for the far sideline, got it complete at the 10, and inside the 10 is Uridia. And I'll tell you, you talk about a tough matchup at 6'6", 220 pounds, but the amazing thing is, they told me they don't throw the fade route to him a lot.
Well, and they also said he and Hunter Cantwell really are great partners because they go against the first-team defense so much. And Uridio, a big 6'6" wide receiver, started out the season really well. Hurt against West Virginia. They say he's back as healthy as he's been all year.
Well, he's been averaging 22 yards plus per reception. But this one right here gives him a first and goal, and they'll keep it inside in the running play. Spinning around is Bush. Hargrave and Lansana, the two middle linebackers combining on the stop, or the weak side and the strong side linebacker, I should say.
Louisville excited to have Michael Bush back. Really a unique guy, Ron. 6'3", 250 pounds. You mentioned he played at Louisville Male High School. Player of the Year, Mr. Football in Kentucky. Was a quarterback in high school. I think still kind of dreams about getting under that center a little bit, but has found a home at tailback.
Going to be second down and goal. Play action to Bush, going to roll the pocket. Got a man wide open, and he cannot hold on to it. I say wide open, it was coverage, but Barnage, the tight end, had his man beaten. And at 6'5", 231, that ball should have been in his arms for a touchdown. Watch this.
And really good mobility by Hunter Cantwell and a well-thrown ball. And you mentioned on a cold night in Connecticut, a little bit high right there, but this kid has good hands. He's a good athlete. Probably should have made that catch, Ron.
Third down and goal. Line of scrimmage is still at the 5. No score, 2:36 to play until the end of the first quarter. Well, there's movement all over the place here, and they run the play. Bush, 2-1. He will score, and that should have been, I thought, a flag. We had movement before the ball was snapped on both sides of the football.
And Ron, it looked that way to me, that it was a potential false start penalty right there. I'm sure Randy Edsel saw the same thing, but there was some discombobulation at the line of scrimmage on that snap.
Carmody to attempt the extra point, trying to put Louisville up by a count of 7-0 at the 2:29 mark. Good pass, and he's perfect. Right down the middle. Bush on a good-looking 5-yard run, taking it into the end zone. Here's a look at the play and see what you see.
Let's go back and take a look. Yeah, that was a false start, and that is not reviewable, even though we have the instant replay in effect here tonight, Ron. So bad missed call right there. Fortunate for Louisville, and in a game like this, when points are going to be so hard to come by, that's a big missed call right there.
Here's what it is. Instead of a 3rd down and 5, it's a 3rd down and 10 situation.
With a freshman walk-on quarterback, Ron. You're right. Let's take a look at it again. Watch the snap, no question. That's a false start. That is a big missed call early in this football game. The right tackle, Jeremy Darvo, and Gary Barnridge, the tight end, both moved for that snap.
60 yards, 8 plays, 3 minutes and 8 seconds. Bush, 21st rushing touchdown. That is a new Louisville Cardinal record as Todd Flannery prepares to kick it off.
Darius Butler, an excellent kickoff return man, Ron, for Connecticut. Already tonight and 90 yards last week against South Florida.
He's joined back there by Robinson, Courtney Robinson, number 9. Here's the boot. Not as long, and it's returnable. A spinner from the 10-yard line. This is Butler, and Butler finds another opening. 35 out over the 40 and out to the 41-yard line. Well, the ESPN Original Entertainment presents Codebreakers, an ESPN original movie that explores the notorious 1950 cheating scandal involving the football team at West Point. Codebreakers presented by Kay Jewelers on ESPN next Saturday, 9 Eastern, immediately following the Heisman Trophy presentation. Codebreakers also available in high definition on ESPN HD. Well, there's a good mom taking the top off the young lady so we can see how pretty she is. And she put it right back on. It is nippy tonight. Quick out pass. I think that hit the ground first. And Reese Davis, let's check back with you for the first time tonight.
All right, Ron, the national championship game is all set. In the Rose Bowl, USC and Texas as the Trojans, Reggie Bush, Matt Leinart, destroy UCLA 66-19. So it'll be the Rose Bowl presented by Citi, USC and Texas for the national title.
Okay, well, that's a first within itself for the teams that started in the BCS as 1 and 2. It's never happened that they wound up there. Barksdale in at fullback, Cawley the tailback, and now Hernandez going to try to turn the corner, and he does. Has 5 yards, has 10, cut it off at about 12. They'll move the sticks and will have very good field position just across midfield as Brandon Sharp had to come over and make the defensive stop.
And you see the best weapon for DJ Hernandez, Ron. Tuck that football and run with it. You mentioned this guy all-state in 3 sports at Bristol High School, ran for over 3,000 yards, threw for over 3,000. He's athletic now.
Yeah, there's no question about that. And normally guys that are that athletic like to run the football a lot. That's the longest Connecticut rush tonight. Cawley is now the lone setback at tailback. And here comes a pitch in the option play, and I'm telling you what, Louisville looked as though they might have been in the offensive huddle when that play was called, because it's going to be a loss of 2. He just had no place to go. Zach Anderson comes over to make the tackle for the Cardinals.
You see how Connecticut's going to have to do some things on offense, run some options. And that time, boy, Louisville, as you said, diagnosed that one.
How many white headgears in the vicinity and on top of the ball carrier. 1:20 to play, opening quarter. Louisville 7 and UConn nothing. Play action. Looking for the tight end. Going to run it. 45 and stumbles his way to around the 42-yard line. Dan Murray looked as though he was almost on a single route by himself. Holly Rowe, let's check with you.
Well, Ron, as you guys were talking about, DJ Hernandez is quite an athlete. The coaches say he's a legitimate threat with his feet, and for good reason. In high school, he was an all-around athlete. Not just all-state in football, he was also all-state in basketball, leading his team to a state championship. He was also all-conference in baseball, hitting over 400 one season. So you could see on that last scramble, he's definitely an all-around athlete that's a threat.
I don't think there's any question about that. Quick pass over the middle. They're going to have the first down at the 36-yard line, throwing a very safe pass. And the receiver, who was Jason Williams, just kind of curled up on the ground and kind of caressed the ball right there. For where they're putting it down, it is a first down, UConn.
And DJ Hernandez came in against Syracuse. Matt Bonoslawski injured. 86 yards rushing in the rain, Ron, against Syracuse. Only 4 straight passing. Started the next week against Cincinnati. 19 for 43 passing when they lost. Then he fractured his left wrist. So bottom line, he has to use his feet to win this football game.
That is the end of the first quarter. 7-0. Cardinals on top, but UConn driving. Welcome back to East Hartford, Connecticut. It is Rensselaer Field, and it's UConn playing host to number 16 Louisville. And our score right now, 7-0. The Huskies trying to become bowl eligible with the win, and for Louisville, they already have a bowl berth. They will be going to Jacksonville and the Gator Bowl. First down, and this is Lou Allen, who goes at right guard. He's going to have 3, maybe 4 very tough yards, and you can see the gang tackling on the part of Louisville, led primarily by Nate Harris that time and Zach Anderson.
Ron, our first time, my first time, and your first time here at Rensselaer Field, and this really is a beautiful facility. And UConn, to their credit, 32,000 season tickets they sold this year. And it's amazing when you look at what they came from, as we saw their on-campus stadium yesterday and facilities, to where they are now and where they're about to go. Great job here at UConn getting this thing going.
Second down from the 34-yard line. That quick pass thrown to Brandon McLean, the sophomore out of New Haven, Connecticut. Going to be short of the first down. It'll be third down, and they'll need about 3. Yeah, Bob, I think in the old stadium before they moved over here, they had about 3,000 season ticket holders, and now at 32,000 season ticket holders.
And they've responded and played well at home. They're 15-3 all time here at Rensselaer Field.
So it's third down. As I mentioned, they need to take it to the 26 to pick up the first down. This time from the shotgun, looking, steps up, going to try to run it. Can he turn the corner? Yes. Has the first down inside the 20, and it's going to be pushed out of bounds at the 15-yard line. Nate Harris finally forced him out. 14 yards on the play, and a huge one by DJ Hernandez.
And again, Louisville loses contain on the outside. 96, Zach Anderson. You can see early in this game, you better keep DJ Hernandez pinned in the box. And that time, the defensive end allowed him outside. He really does have some quickness now, Ron.
The thing is, he's not a small lad. He's 6'1", 210 pounds. Bristol Central High School. Lou Allen, right side. Tackler behind him, broke the first one, and is going to take it down to around the 12-yard line. And right now, let's check in for a Sports Center 30-30 update.
All right, Ron, the national championship game is set. Reggie Bush rushed for 260 yards, couple of touchdowns as USC beats UCLA 66-19. And Vince Young accounted for 4 touchdowns. Texas dropped 70 on Colorado in the Big 12 title game. It'll be Texas and USC for the title. Sports Center coming up after the game. ESPN News is constantly on.
No K. Reese, our situation, 7-0 Louisville, but UConn is threatening. Here's a blitz. Got a man wide open at the 5-yard line. It's caught, and he will score. That's Jason Williams.
Busted coverage right there by Louisville. Rod Council, number 14, the corner just jumped up. And you see the disgust right there on Bobby Petrino's face. Just totally busted that coverage out there in the perimeter.
Matt Newsy, a junior out of Trumbull, Connecticut, to attempt the extra point and tie this football game at the 12:49 mark. Good pass, and whoop, yanked it to the left, but he got it. Snuck it in there. We'll take a timeout. 12:49 left until halftime, and it is 7-7 as you look at the touchdown to Jason Williams. So we are back as you take a look at the young man who just scored, Jason Williams, a senior out of McKeesport, 5th year, and he has been through good times and bad times with his UConn program, but is really a contributor. Team guy. Newsy to kick it off. And this is a short spinner, going to be taken at the 11-yard line by Spencer. And Spencer will be tackled just across the 25. What happened on the touchdown, Bob?
Ron, it's pretty simple. I mean, when you talk about a busted coverage, this is a busted coverage. Watch the corner Council right here, and then watch the safety over the top, Brandon Sharp. If you're going to bring that corner inside, then the safety has to roll over. And obviously, that time, miscommunication, and then the missed tackle by Brandon Sharp to allow the touchdown. But how about the drive? And DJ Hernandez, with his legs, made some play and then took advantage of the broken coverage.
So it's first down for the Cardinals. Little play action, gets that pass out, has it complete to Tinch. And that is Euregia, I'm sorry, number 7, the redshirt freshman out of Louisville, Fern Creek High School.
And isn't it funny how guys that work together so much in practice now, as you see Hunter Cantwell and Euregia, those guys in the spring hooked up a lot. Those guys run because they're on the second team offense, get a lot of reps together in practice, and that's kind of his comfort zone right now, the big tall receiver Euregia.
Well, I'll tell you what, I think I'd keep throwing to him. He's kind of hard to defend at 6'6", 220 pounds. Cantwell 5 of 7 for 73 yards. Big it over here by Colby Smith, and he'll have the first down by about 7 yards. And they'll say 1st and 10, and the ball is placed down at the 43-yard line.
I'll tell you, I like Colby Smith. Was a fullback. He's about 5'11", 215, the toughest of the backs. That's why he was a fullback. Last week, Ron caught a 57-yard touchdown on a little play-action pass from the fullback position. This guy's a good football player right here.
And the coaches reiterate how very tough he is, and he catches the ball well. Michael Bush back in the ball game, and he'll power his way. for a gain of 2, tackled by Dan Davis, the sophomore out of Plainfield, New Jersey.
How about Hunter Cantwell, walk-on freshman quarterback, playing his first game tonight. Wanted to play the Division I football, Ron. Louisville gave him some attention. Kentucky didn't. He walks on, and this is a talented guy. Coach is surprised he wasn't offered a scholarship somewhere else.
Well, he's shown a lot of poise tonight. Short drop this time, quick look in. That ball is knocked away. Nice defensive play by Branch.
Really is a shame that people don't get a chance to see Brian Brom, number 2 in the nation in passing efficiency, but it's Hunter Cantwell's show right now, Ron.
Third down, they need to take it down to the 47-yard line. The 47-yard line of UConn. We're tied at 7. About to go under 11 minutes to play until halftime. Blitz off the corner. Boy, does he get hit. Pass is caught, but it is well short of the first down. Tense the receiver. Lansana is the man who came with the heavy pressure, and Estep was there to make the defensive stop.
And they blitzed the empty no-back formation. That's a lick by Lansana right there. Maybe, Ron, a blow to the helmet right there. UConn dodged one right there.
Here's the boot. Line drive. Retreating, and the catch is made. The ball is muffed, and it looks as though that UConn got on the ball. Louisville saying that they have it, and Louisville has made the recovery. There's the signal by the official, and you take a look at the young head coach for UConn, and he just says, boy, we can't make mistakes like that. Randy Edsall looking out as his ball club is going to turn it over on the muffed punt. It's McLean who could not hold on to it.
You're going to see Rod Council, Ron, the corner starter on special teams, comes in and gets that football.
So McLean couldn't handle it. The ball came down. It appeared as though it hit his face mask first, and that's what knocked it out in front of him. But Edsall talking with him on the sideline, and we'll see if this muff and what turns into the turnover from 12 yards away, if it winds up as points on the board. Bush straight ahead. Going to have 4, maybe 5 yards down around the 8-yard line. Lansana defensively.
Look at Michael Bush. Missed 2 games with a foot injury. A junior. A lot of people say he's thinking about coming out in the NFL draft.
Going to be Bush and Colby Smith in the backfield. Smith is the one who is offset to the right, but they'll give it to Bush. Takes it right up the middle, inside the 5, and he's down to the 4. He'll be short of the first down by 1.5 yards. Sowell, the middle linebacker, number 47, a senior out of Bridgeport, came over to make the tackle on him. Big play right here, Bob. Is this 4-down territory if you're Louisville, or if you get held out of the first down zone, do you kick the field goal?
Well, I'll tell you, I'm going to abstain until I see how much yardage they make right here.
Well, no, that's
3rd down. And I know Bobby Petrino wants to make that first down right now, Ron, so he doesn't have that decision to make.
Well, he's going to give it to the 250-pounder. There's Bush. He has the first down, headed for the end zone. Did he get in? No. The officials say he's going to be stopped at the 1-foot line. So that decision does not have to be made. It's now 1st and goal for the Cardinals.
And in a game like this, with 2 backup quarterbacks playing, how crucial is the muffed punt by Connecticut that obviously set up this golden opportunity for the Louisville offense. The ball very close to the plane of the goal line right there, but sets up 1st and goal.
3 tight ends in the ball game. Bush, the lone setback. And they'll give it to Bush. Left side, he'll walk in. Touchdown, Louisville.
Take a look at Brandon McLean over there. No one feels worse than that young man. But Connecticut, the underdog in this football game, Ron, cannot turn the football over like they just did on that punt return.
No, and as you know, as we talked about earlier in the first quarter, they also can't get into a scoring duel with Louisville because that is not their forte. Carmody to attempt the extra point, trying to make it a 7-point lead by Louisville once again. It's a good pass, and he's got it right down the middle. So 8:47 left until halftime at our new score. Louisville 14 and UConn 7 on this Bush touchdown. We'll be right back.
ESPN's College Football Primetime, brought to you by Aflac. Ask about it at work. And Budweiser Select. Finally, bold taste meets a clean finish. Expect everything.
Well, that youngster has the right idea. Get close to that fur coat and take a nap. It's supposed to go into the low 20s tonight, and a possibility of some snow showers a little bit later on. You see people bundled up, but they're accustomed to cold weather up here. I think it's the cold, wet stuff, which people really don't care for. And
you never really get accustomed to that cold weather.
It's hard to prepare for being miserable, I think. Here comes the kick, and they're going to kick this one on the ground, and I think it's a smart move with what Butler has done in the first part of his ball game. UConn's going to still return it out across the 41 to around the 42-yard line. Well, Bush, what a night. 1 touchdown every 8.7 rushes. Well, Bobby's got 2 touchdowns tonight in 10 carries.
Averaging 116 yards a game rushing. The thing I like about him, 20 catches. He has great hands coming out of that backfield.
138 points this season. That's a Louisville season record. And they missed him for 3 games because of the injury that he had. He has returned with a vengeance tonight. Here comes pressure. Hernandez is going to get the ball away and throws it incomplete, and now here comes a flag. And I think this is going to be very justified, as Rod Counsell had the cover, but I think you're going to see him make contact with the receiver before the football got there.
So many times, Ron, with that defensive back in the trail position, wants to put that opposite hand on the back of the receiver.
Pass interference, number 14 on the defense. 15-yard penalty from the line of scrimmage. First down.
We get a chance to see Counsell right now, the defensive back, just in man-to-man coverage. And yeah, got there a little bit early. Tried to play through the receiver to get to the football.
Close, but he still made contact before it got there. 3 for 35, the penalties against Louisville tonight, none against UConn. And it's Terry Cawley who lines up at tailback on the first down, and they scrimmage from the 43-yard line of Louisville. Cawley gets the handoff, tries it up the middle, nothing doing. He's swarmed under. Brandon Johnson is the first man to make contact with him. Reese Davis, let's check back with you.
Ron, the ACC title game, which set up as the dud of Championship Saturday, might turn out to be the best game of the bunch. Taco Bell studio update: Virginia Tech and Florida State. Drew Weatherford up top to Greg Carr, set up a field goal, and Virginia Tech and Florida State in a tight one in the first quarter.
You know, speaking of people who are tough to cover, Carr, he also is 6'6", maybe closer to 6'7", and nobody's covered him all year long for Florida State.
Reminds you of Mario Urrutia from Louisville.
Quick pass right up in the middle, got that to Terry Cawley, and the tailback is fighting his way for about 6 yards, and now it's going to be third down. That was Stanley, Montavious Stanley, defensively for Louisville. Randy Edsel knows right now that they are not going to have many opportunities much better than this as far as trying to pick up a first down inside the 40-yard line of Louisville.
We talked to their coaches yesterday. We said, what's the ideal number of passes at the end of this game you'd like to throw, Ron? They said 15. So they cannot get behind if they want to reach that quota or stay at that quota of only 15 to 18 passes.
Here comes a safety blitz. Big pressure. Pass is caught. That is a nice job by McLean, I believe. No, Jason Williams, number 80. And now they're saying incomplete pass. You hear the boos coming from the student section right across the way.
Jason Williams, the fifth-year senior, Ron, on the little slant route. Ball thrown high. Excellent hit by the linebacker, Nate Harris. A better look at it right here. Did he have possession of this football?
Yeah. The ball came out with his back hit the ground.
I'll tell you what, that was a heck of a lift by Nate Harris.
Yeah, it was.
Jason Williams with 44 catches last year as a junior. 30 catches this year. Been tough on these receivers at UConn as they are going to review this.
Yeah.
But tough on the receivers, Ron, when you have so many changes at quarterback. Here, that ball should have been thrown right on those numbers. So you think the ground caused that fumble right there?
I mean, I think he had it right there in the breadbasket, and now he really did get hit hard. But we'll see exactly what the replay gentlemen have to say. They've got actually the same videotape replays that we do. Take another look here.
Keep in mind, this is super slow motion. Once again, it has to be indisputable evidence to overturn that call.
Fourth down.
Well, they're not going to overturn it. Papasaris steps on to punt. This time he'll be kicking with the wind. Montrell Jones is the deep man. This is the third punt for the Huskies tonight. Very high kick. The spiral's not going to turn over. And a catch made at the 8-yard line by Montrell Jones. So we'll take a timeout. 6:57 remaining until halftime, and our score remains 14-7 Louisville. And welcome back. And here is tonight's Aflac trivia question. Who was the last first-team all-conference quarterback in Louisville's league that didn't play for Louisville? And here's a hint. The year was 1998. We'll have that answer a little bit later on. So Louisville takes the ball over. They stop the drive. Cantwell, by the way, nice number. 6 of 9, 78 yards. Bush back into tailback, but they play action to him. Cantwell, nice pass, has a man open at the 35, and he's going to take it. Here comes a late flag in. Finally tackled at the 44. Harry Douglas on the receiving end of a 36-yard strike.
Ron, we talked about Connecticut getting up there with 9 men at the line of scrimmage. That means you're one-on-one on the outside. And again, Bobby Petrino with the young quarterback.
There's no penalty on the play. The player did not grab the face mask. First down.
Has enough confidence right here. Harry Douglas, the fastest player on Louisville's team. And trust me, we can't see it, but it's just straight man-to-man coverage out there. Bump and run, man-to-man. Harry Douglas working on Darius Butler. Excellent route. And how about the confidence to throw that football on 1st and 10 backed up?
Well, again, poise has not been his shortcoming tonight. He has been very poor. This pass to the far sideline, and it's going to be tipped up, and now here comes a flag in. It looks as though it's going to be pass interference. Coach Etzel not real excited about that call. Tyvon Branch, I believe, is the man who is going to be the guilty party. Harry Douglas, the intended receiver.
Tyvon Branch that time, the corner locked up on Harry Douglas. Harry Douglas, Ron, just a sophomore. They say great potential for this young guy. Can really run. Dropped a big ball against Syracuse for a touchdown last week.
Pass interference. Number 29 on the defense. 15-yard penalty from the line of scrimmage. First down.
And there's an injury on the other side of the field. Butler is down.
Boy. Did he interfere with the opportunity of Harry Douglas to catch that football? That was very close call right there.
Butler being helped off the field.
Ball hit Harry Douglas on the shoulder. Boy, that's critical. As much man-to-man, one-on-one on the outside, Ron, as Connecticut plays, these two corners And Darius Butler is their best corner, just a freshman.
Courtney Robinson, a freshman out of Lake Worth, Florida, number 9, 5'11", 190, a freshman, comes in to replace him. He got 6:28 left until halftime, and our score is Louisville 14-7. And the Cardinals are threatening again as they have the ball 1st and 10 at the UConn 41-yard line. Michael Bush again lines up at tailback. But a short drop and Cantwell to throw. Here comes pressure. Moves out of the pocket nicely, now going to run. And whoa, what an open field tackle by Hargrave. James Hargrave, a senior out of Pleasantville, New Jersey, really took care of the ball carrier. Holly Rowe, let's check with you.
Well, guys, Hunter Cantwell has always wanted to play quarterback. Growing up as a little boy, he was actually put as nose guard, offensive line, everywhere but quarterback. So one day, finally, in the Little League, his coach raised his hand. He was disgusted with the quarterback play and said, "Can anyone on this team play quarterback?" His dad, Tom, swears Hunter raised his hand, and from that day on, he's been a signal caller.
Second down, Bush, right tackle. He gets smacked hard as he fights his way toward the 36-yard line. Terrian Sowell, the middle linebacker out of Bridgeport, is there to make the hit.
And you look at, see Michael Bush right there from Louisville Male High School. How about Bobby Petrino's son, Nick, last night, Ron, the starting quarterback for Trinity High School, won the state championship. The whole family stayed home to watch it. Bobby told me he listened to the game on the internet last night. But how about Trinity winning it all down in Louisville?
Hey, congratulations to them. Play action. Pressure is on. Cantwell is sacked. Wow, way back at the 46-yard line, and that's Len Santa. The first time, really, that they have been given an official sack tonight. But if you are a UConn fan, it simply could not have come at a better time.
And you see why Connecticut, #1 in the nation in third down defense. Danny Lansana, and also the safety in the nickel package, Tyvon Branch, coming on the blitz, Ron.
Here's the punt into the wind, driving spiral, and the deep man moves away from it. It's been touched dead at the 1-yard line. In fact, just inside the 1. And you see the congratulations for William Gay. 44 yards in the punt. But most importantly, wow, the Huskies are going to scrimmage with everybody in their own end zone.
And Ron, keep in mind as we watch William Gay, it doesn't matter where your feet are in college football. It's where the ball is. You see Williams Gay's body on that goal line. That doesn't matter. It's just, did the ball cross the plane or didn't it? And obviously it did not. Great play right there on special teams by Louisville.
So Lou Allen is the tailback. And you see he's almost at the top of the tee in Connecticut, written in the end zone. Blitz comes. They go straight ahead with a handoff, and Allen, boy, he fights his way for 4.5 yards. Nate Harris is there to meet him. And there are two guys that really like to bump heads, and they have a number of times tonight.
And how about Louisville's punt team caused the fumble, recovered, Louisville scores, and now punts it down to the 1-yard line. The MVP unit of the game so far, Ron, is Louisville punt team, averaging 42 yards a punt.
42.8. That's getting the job done right there. Allen again. Going to have about 3. Brandon Johnson, the weak side linebacker, is there to make the tackle. Well, we're at Retzler Field in East Hartford, Connecticut. Louisville, number 16 in the nation. They're already in the Gator Bowl, and UConn needs a win tonight to become 6-5. That would make them bowl eligible. Michael Bush is back. 45 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 11 rushes for him.
On every third down's big, but this 3rd and 3 right here, critical for Connecticut. You don't want to give that ball back to Louisville with 3 minutes and 20 seconds left in this half.
No, because the defense has had to play a lot here in the second quarter on top of that. Cornell Brockington comes in at tailback, but they go play action. And this pass is lobbed a little too far and incomplete at the 24. Danny Murray, the tight end, is who they wanted.
And the crowd wanted to call on safety Brandon Sharp. Climbing Murray's back a little bit, but Connecticut again forced the punt.
Papasaris comes in to punt. And the left footer, as we mentioned, going to be kicking with the wind here. He needs to get one very high and let it sail. Otherwise, that 44-yard punt that was down at the 1-foot line a moment ago is going to flip the field on the Huskies. Montrell Jones is the deep man, and here's the boot. Spiral trying to turn over. Fair catch is called for and made at the 47 by Jones. So here is the answer to tonight's Aflac trivia question. Who was the last first-team all-conference quarterback in Louisville's league that didn't play for Louisville? Well, that would be Sean King, Tulane, 1998. Here are all-conference quarterbacks, first team since 1999. Well, they have had some very, very good ones. And Hunter Cantwell is hoping that he can join that list. This pass right here is caught at the 20. The defender fell down, and Urruti is going to take it the distance for the touchdown. 46 yards, as the ball actually was thrown a little bit short, which is death for the defensive back because they overrun the play, and then he missed the tackle.
And Ron, they are a well-coached football team. Bobby Petrino goes at Courtney Robinson. Right here, remember, Courtney Robinson in the football game because Tyvon Branch or Darius Butler out with the injury. And you mentioned the underthrown fade, but that is great play calling right there, throwing that football on 1st and 10.
Art Carmody to attempt the extra point. And he hits it right down the middle again. 2:56 left until halftime, and it's all of a sudden 21-7 as you watch this pass right here. Underthrown, then the defender falls down, and Urruti is in the end zone. So we are back after a short break. Chilly night here in Hartford, Connecticut, East Hartford to be exact, and the name of the stadium is Retschler Field. And as Bob mentioned, as you see, Griff is very warm tonight. One of our camera guys. Hi, Griff. Stay warm. Get you some cocoa at halftime. And but it is not an unbearable situation here. It's supposed to drop into the low 20s tonight. Wind not quite as high as what they had talked about. They had talked about wind gust over 20 miles an hour. Thank goodness that is not happening. And they're going to kick it on the ground again, and that one is muffed and now recovered, I believe, by UConn at the 34-yard line.
Ron, one thing we said as we see this signal, I thought UConn recovered that football.
Well, I did too. Bob, why is it so disarming when, yeah, it's going to stay with it. Why is it so disarming when you get a short kick or one on the ground like that?
Because you don't have guys that normally handle that football.
That's your good hands
handle
team.
the football.
Yeah.
Ron, back to the touchdown. We said Louisville cannot get conservative. If you look at this picture right now, you talk about 8-man front. That means it's one-on-one with the corner out here, Courtney Robinson. They have everybody up to stop the run. Keep in mind, it's 1st and 10. Bobby Petrino with the confidence with the young quarterback, and his buddy Urrutia, who he works with in practice every day on the second-team offense, is his partner for the big touchdown.
So it's first down for UConn. Here comes pressure. Hernandez just going to throw this one away, and then he got decked just as he delivered the football. And Reese Davis, let's check back with you.
Ron, coming up on the Pontiac Performance Halftime Report, Lou and Mark are alongside. Championship Saturday is turned into SmackDown Saturday as USC and Texas roll easily. Georgia's doing the same to LSU. We're set for a national championship game now, Lou.
Texas versus USC in the Rose Bowl, a match made to heaven. I can hardly wait.
And Texas intimidated Colorado just by getting off the bus today. It was over.
I think I'm going to give a helmet sticker on game day final to the Colorado bus driver who got them out of Houston.
Do you have his name, Reese? It's going to be a loss. Well, now he fights his way forward out to around the 36, maybe the 37-yard line.
Ron, can you imagine? You're throwing around numbers like 70 points in the Big 12 championship game. 66 points was it in the USC-UCLA game. We're talking about 70 points and 66 points in games that were supposed to be, well, at least one of them, USC-UCLA, big-time matchups. I mean, that's unbelievable now, those kind of numbers.
Yeah, it really is. And As I said, the first time at 1 and 2 from the get-go, from the very first BCS poll, have maintained that position. So maybe that's exactly what was supposed to happen. Right over the middle, got this one open, and that's Dewar. Nollis Dewar, freshman out of Windsor, Connecticut. And he is close. Yeah, he's going to have the first down. Out to the 46. Nate Harris finally stopped him. Nollis Dewar, 6'1" or 6'3", 190 pounds. He goes to the far sideline and is greeted by his coach.
These are the situations that Elvis Doomerville, number 58, the Louisville defensive end with 20 sacks. He licks his chops right now.
And they're going to go with the rushing play. They cut it back upfield. This is Cawley. Cawley's going to have 5-10, cut it off at about 13 yards. Nate Harris, who has been in on a lot of plays tonight, got outside to make the tackle. Here's a look at Nate.
I said Doomerville licks his chops. Watch this lick right there by the tight end, Murray. Boom. Keep in mind now, Doomerville thought it was going to be a pass. Murray had an angle on him. But I'll tell you what now, that was a heck of a block by that tight end.
He has seen a lot of different blocking schemes against him, though. As many as 3 people isolating on him during the ball game. Backside pressures, they double him this time. Pass is complete, and it's Murray who just threw the block. The tight end on the receiving end this time. Only played 1 year of high school football.
An impressive DJ Hernandez run. I think's played pretty darn well right here in this first half. And how big would it be just for UConn to get some points right here?
Yeah, you're exactly right. As we're under 1 minute to play, clock runs at 45. Corner blitz coming. That's going to be enough for the first down as he'll take it to around the 29-yard line. Cotetzel looking up at that scoreboard, and he's thinking the same thing you're talking about. We've got to come away with some points right here, preferably a touchdown, but 3 would be nice.
And UConn struggles field goal kicking. Matt Newsy, their kicker, 10 for 18 on the season run. He missed a 38-yarder last week, so look for UConn to throw this football down the field. They don't want to try a field goal right here. They want 6.
2 timeouts remaining. They roll the pocket to the left. Now here comes pressure. Zings this one. It is complete, and that's enough for the first down again. This time at the 15-yard line to Brandon Young, 14 yards.
I'll tell you what, that was impressive by DJ Hernandez, rolling to his left right there and throwing that football to Brandon Young. Watch this, Ron. Roll to their left. Great job of protection. Gives a little ground. And also, what great catch by Brandon Young. Say he has the best hands on the football team. That's a legitimate statement after that catch.
Well, here's a reminder. ESPN Original Entertainment presents Codebreakers, an ESPN original movie that explores the notorious 1950 cheating scandal involving the football team at West Point. Codebreakers presented by Kay Jewelers at ESPN next Saturday at 9 Eastern, immediately following the Heisman Trophy presentation. And also Codebreakers, available in high definition on ESPN HD. Our situation, we have 19 ticks showing on the clock, and it is a 21-7 ball game. UConn with a first down at the 15-yard line. Hernandez has hit his last 3 passes, good for 34 yards.
This young Connecticut offensive line, Ron, really has done an outstanding job against Louisville defense. Louisville 39 sacks coming in, number 3 in the country as far as sacking the quarterback.
Well, let's see what he comes up with here and what kind of defense the Cardinals throw at them. 19 seconds until halftime. Hernandez looking, gonna be sacked. And now here comes a late flag and still another late flag. And Cotetzel said, let's make sure that we don't let the clock run. Let's call a timeout. Anderson is the man who got there.
Personal foul. Face mask, number 96 on the defense.
Wow.
Penalty, half the distance to the goal from the line of scrimmage. First down.
12 seconds on the clock. And if they score right here, put an asterisk by that mistake right there.
You're right. And I believe it was 96 Zach Anderson. As you see him come right here. Great athletic move right there on the outside. But right there, no question, Ron. And you are right, with 12 seconds left in this half.
So UConn has just used their final timeout, and I'm sure with 12 seconds left, what I say I'm sure, Bob, what you try to get a playoff here, but also what to do if you stay in the field of play with no more timeouts left.
No question, Ron. With 12 seconds left, no timeouts. Throw the football in the end zone if you're Connecticut and take a shot. But you have to be impressed right now with DJ Hernandez, this young freshman quarterback from Bristol, Connecticut, and the job he's done taking this team down the field right here.
You know what's amazing tonight, when you look at both of these young guys, we're talking about guys that are still wet behind the ears, and both of them tonight, I just have to say how much poise both of them have stepped on the field and had.
I agree, and the other thing I see how well coached they are.
Yeah.
I mean, Bobby Petrino with Hunter Cantwell, not afraid to throw the ball down the field on first down because he knows it's bump and run. DJ Hernandez, you see he's gaining confidence. His teammates gaining confidence. Connecticut in this football game, points are huge right now from a psychological standpoint if you're UConn.
You know, we talked about UConn has made their living and really helped set up their wins on defense this year. This would be a gigantic bonus if they got it into the end zone and cut it to 7 points going in at halftime.
Think about Louisville, 40 sacks on the season, Ron. They're going to be getting up the field right here.
Here comes pressure off the corner. Quick pass, got it complete. It is a touchdown, UConn. Brandon Young, the junior.
Ron, that was big time. No backs, empty backfield, and Louisville let Brandon Young inside for the easy throw and catch, and that was huge. And put an asterisk by the face mask penalty up on Zach Anderson.
Boy, I'll tell you. I wasn't joking when I said you have to put an asterisk by that one. Newsy to attempt the extra point, trying to make it a 7-point ball game. That thing, it hit the upright, it went through, and the officials say yes, it was good. I think that Louisville was offside on the snap. Woo, cutting it a little bit close.
You can see why Connecticut struggled.
Offside, number 21 on the defense. Penalty is declined. Extra point is good.
Ron, how about threading the needle right here? DJ Hernandez, but really a pretty easy throw. And how about the call? 12 seconds left. Time to spare as they score with 8 seconds left in the first half.
Did you see who was staring him down also when they were unable to chop it? Dumerville was coming right at him off that left side, and he was very close to him, and the youngster didn't panic. Threw it right in.
Isn't it fun to see young guys gain confidence? So you almost see right in front of your eyes right now, DJ Hernandez gaining confidence. His teammates rallying around him in Connecticut, playing for a bowl game, Ron, right in the middle of this ball game as we're going to halftime.
So the situation, Louisville now, I was about to say, had the huge amount of momentum going into the locker room with them, but all of a sudden Mo is on the other side of the field with this young UConn team,
and a chance to make it colder for Louisville if Connecticut can hang close, Ron, get this game into the fourth quarter. You see right now, I mean, they're feeling pretty darn good about themselves.
They
going in at halftime.
Look at those numbers. 8 plays, 67 yards, 2 minutes and 48 seconds against a defense that is not a slouch. We're talking about a very good defense. Deep kick all the way back to the 3-yard line as Montrell Jones. Montrell Jones runs into his own man and then was tackled by UConn, and the clock has run out. We are at halftime of what has been a very entertaining first half. Marvin Taylor making the tackle. And Coach Petrino is not real happy with the officials, as you can see right there. So our halftime score is Louisville 21 and UConn 14. Now let's join Reese Davis in the studio for the Pontiac Performance Halftime Report. So we are back in East Hartford, Connecticut. Let's take a quick look at game track and what happened in the first half. Hunter Cantwell, look at those numbers, 8 of 11, 160 yards and a touchdown. You're reading a scoring on that one right there. And welcome back, Michael Bush, say the Cardinal faithful, as he scored a couple of touchdowns. Hernandez, 115, 2 touchdowns, and he put his team right back in it, cutting a 14-point lead down to 7 just before halftime. And a good look at him right there. In fact, that play happened with 12 seconds on the clock. So they were getting down to it, Bob Davie.
What a great drive. A re-energized UConn football team and crowd, Ron. The big touchdown at the end of the first half narrowed the gap to 7. They're right in it.
Well, here's the kick. This is going to be very returnable. High spinner taken at the 13 by Montreal Jones. And Jones loses the football. Still scrambling, and Louisville has it back at the 26-yard line. So, we almost started off with some fireworks to open this second half of action. What was the conversation at halftime? I know that you were visiting with the replay gentleman next door, and you know, there's some close plays, but nothing that was overturned.
Nothing significant in the first half. Really a very well-played first half, Ron, when you think about 2 quarterbacks really starting their first games. I know DJ Hernandez started early in the season against Cincinnati, but a well-played football game, really an even football game, other than Connecticut fumbling the punt and giving the ball to Louisville, which took it in for the touchdown.
With the play action right here, and this pass, boy, got it complete. Guess who? Uridia on the receiving end of that one, the 6'6" redshirt freshman. And I'll tell you, that is a great target. And Bob made the point back in the first half that they have had a lot of chance to work together against the #1 defense.
And also, Ron, when it's man-to-man coverage, one-on-one, they knew Uridia would be a key player in this football game. This guy's just a redshirt freshman.
Barnajan Kuhn, 2 tight end alignment in the ball game, and they give it to Bush. Nothing to the left, and he'll take it back at right guard.
You know, Ron, every week we get a chance to go down on the field before the game and just look at the teams, obviously, in person. And this Louisville football team, it looks every bit like any Southeastern Conference team we do or any ACC team. This is a great-looking football team. A lot of great athletes. They do a great job recruiting.
You see where a lot of these youngsters are from also. There are a lot of kids from the state of Florida, from Georgia, also Alabama. As Bush takes the ball straight up the middle, going to have the first down. And, you know, one of the reasons for that, the recruiting coordinator, Joe Witt, you've heard, obviously, who coaches at Auburn University. Joe Witt Jr. is the recruiting coordinator, and his roots are in the South, and as a result, he has done a good job of seeking out youngsters in that part of the country.
Great point. And also, let's go back to Howard Schnellenberger, who got this whole thing started at Louisville. 23 players from the state of Florida on this Louisville football team.
So it's a first down. Little play action. Cantwell zings this one, has it complete. 35, 30, 25, and that's Tench finally pulled out of bounds at around the 12-yard line. 29 yards on the play. 10 catches against Rutgers, 13 against West Virginia. Estep finally saved a touchdown.
And again, Courtney Robinson, the freshman corner in the football game for UConn right here, Ron. He's going to miss the tackle. The reason he's in the game, Darius Butler out.
Attention, Bob. 6'3", 223. Tench can really move after he catches the football. Pass far sideline caught, and then the knockdown punch is thrown on Montreal Jones, as defensively that's a good open field play.
And Ron, how about all the recruiting gurus across the country, all the coaches that get paid for evaluating talent? How does Hunter Cantwell not have a scholarship coming out of high school? I mean, this kid's 6'4", 220, can throw the football. Hard to imagine he didn't get a scholarship coming out of Paducah, Kentucky.
I agree with you. 217 yards. Bush straight ahead in the 5-4-3-2-1, and he will score. Estep thought he had the tackle, and he just knocked him back. And I mean, just like that, pow. We haven't played 2 minutes, or hardly 2 minutes of the second half.
Now, didn't we say UConn had the momentum going into halftime? What an impressive drive by Louisville to open the second half. I mean, this is the 6th rated defense in the country now that they just took the football the length of the field on.
Arthur Carmody to attempt the extra point. Boots this one up. He hit the upright, and it is no good. So let's take a timeout. Bobby Petrino saying, okay, we scored the touchdown. Did we miss the extra point? One more look. Bush. Touchdown, Louisville Cardinals. Well, some of the faithful that are braving the cold here in East Hartford, Connecticut tonight. Now it's 27-14 as Bush takes it in, his third touchdown. Look at this, 14 carries tonight, 3 touchdowns. So scoring a TD every 8.7 rushes. How do you like that percentage?
Give it to him every 9 snaps.
That's right. This kick going to be taken from the 9. This is McLean. Oh, and boy, he takes quite a shot. And Holly Rowe, let's check with you down on the sideline.
Well, guys, I talked with both head coaches at halftime. Bobby Petrino told his offense they needed to take the ball down the field and score. All right, mission accomplished. For defense, he told them they need to be more physical. He's not pleased with the tackling or the aggressiveness of the defense. We'll see if they listen as well as the offense. For Randy Edsall and UConn, he said that he told his team in the locker room, hey, guys, we're going toe-to-toe with them right now. If you eliminate the mistakes, the sacks that took them out of field goal range, the muffed punts, he said, we've got to realize we can compete and just keep battling by eliminating the mistakes.
Well, they certainly have proved that. Now, the drive, and there's a drop ball right there by Dan Murray, the tight end. Those are the kind of plays they can ill afford, because that's going to be a first down if he makes the catch on that one. Because a team like Louisville, if you look up and they leave the door just a crack, just a little bit, better take advantage of it, because you won't get many.
You're exactly right, Ron. And right here you see Murray, as you mentioned, dropping this pass. The difficult thing with that, all of a sudden, it's 2nd and 10,
yeah,
which really lets Louisville sink in defensively right now.
Barksdale, the fullback. Lou Allen is the tailback. And it's Lou Allen. Tries to bounce it outside. He's going to be hit hard at the line of scrimmage by Nate Harris. We're going to have to check and see how many tackles that Nate has. Well, we called his name a lot in that first half.
And I'll tell you what, Nate Harris, he had a great first half out of Dodge City Community College. Didn't get to Louisville till the spring. From Miami, Florida, Ron. Highly recruited out of high school. Miami recruited him. Goes to Dodge City. Struggled early, but now he understands the scheme.
He also almost went to LSU, did he not?
Exactly. Highly recruited player. Number 2 linebacker in the country last year out of junior college.
Third down, they got to take this out to the 29-yard line, or they'll have to punt it away. Good protection. Now it breaks down. Hernandez says, I'm going to rush it, and there comes a flag thrown from behind by the referee, and that normally is offensive holding when it's thrown after the play. A. Brown defensively.
Again, the drop pass run on 1st and 10 by the tight end, Murray, set up this poor possession right here for Connecticut.
Because if they do wind up having to punt this football.
Illegal hands to the face. Number 78 on the offense. Penalty is half the distance from the line of scrimmage. Repeat the down.
And when you have 20 sacks on the season, Ron, like Elvis Dumerville, here's what's going to happen to you. You're going to get double. You see Brockington, the tailback, and the big left tackle, number 64, Beatty. But the great thing about that, number 1, it keeps that back end from going out in pass protection, and someone else is singled somewhere else along that line of scrimmage.
So it's going to be 3rd down and 19, and they need to pick up some positive yardage here, because if they do have to punt, they're going to be punting into the wind. Quarterback draw, called play, it appears. They spun a couple of times, and now is going to be spun to the ground inside the 10-yard line by Malik Jackson.
Bunch of spin moves right there for a couple yards, but
there's
poor execution by Connecticut right there, Ron.
Another youngster out of the Southeast we were talking about, Dunwoody, Georgia, on him. Only a sophomore. Malik is a 4.4 sprinter. Montrell Jones is the deep man. And here's the boot. Wobbly spiral, trying to turn over. Runs away from it. And now it's going to be touched at just short of the 50-yard line by the Huskies. ESPN Original Entertainment presents Codebreakers, an ESPN original movie that explores the notorious 1950 cheating scandal involving the football team at West Point. Codebreakers presented by Kay Jewelers on ESPN next Saturday at 9 Eastern, immediately following the Heisman Trophy presentation.
After the play was over, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 31 on the kicking team. 15-yard penalty, it will be first down.
So Randy Edsel was talking with Holly and talked about what they can and what they certainly cannot do, and eliminating, you know, errors like that, and that is something that is certainly avoidable. But it happened.
Connecticut self-destructing here early in the second half. Keep in mind, 5-5 football team, bowl eligible if they can win. A lot on the line. Last week, Ron, they broke a 4-game losing streak with the big win over South Florida.
There you see the young man who committed the no-no and got the personal foul. It's Barksdale, who is the reserve fullback. And now the situation with the ball at the 32-yard line. Louisville in a great position to blow this one open. They lead it already 27-14. And running hard to the left side is Colby Smith. And Colby is going to have a gain of very close to 7 yards on the play.
Ron, we have a chance to go back and look at that late hit by number 31, Anthony Barksdale. I think it's going to happen right here as we, well, excuse me, maybe right here. I hate to throw you off, but that's Anthony Barksdale coming in late. Right there. Silly.
Look at the flags.
Freshman.
Yeah. There were at least 3, if not 4 flags thrown on the play because it was so obvious. Second down and 3. Boy, big hit that time by Dan Davis, who steps up and makes the tackle on Colby Smith.
Boy, you think Connecticut would come out here in the second half, Ron? Momentum on their side, so much to play for. Not playing very well right now, this entire football team for Connecticut.
Garber, the tackle, went over to the left side. Flag over the middle, but the play is going to be whistled down as Colby Smith was open. It was going to be a great call.
We'll get a false start here.
Prior to the snap, false start, number 81 on the offense. 5-yard penalty, remains third down.
Holly Rowe, let's check on the sideline with you.
Well, guys, Connecticut has a game-ending injury to Darius Butler. A knee injury on the right leg will keep him out for the rest of the game. In his place, Courtney Robinson, as you said, a true freshman. Randy Edsel told me at halftime they're going to have to do some things scheme-wise to try to help Courtney Robinson out because he does not have much experience. We'll see how they're able to do it here.
Okay, Holly, and as Bob has pointed out, they have really picked on him. They have gone over to that side, which is what an experienced team does. And we have a timeout on the field, so we'll take it with them. 9:24 left, third quarter, 27-14, Louisville. And we were discussing during the timeout, I thought this guy's beard was white when he began the night, and it's turned as blue as the little helmet he's wearing. Right now it's third down. Louisville needs to take it down to the 22-yard line. And on a defense that leads the nation on third down defense, it has not been that way tonight. As the pass is complete, but they're going to hold them on this one right here. It's going to be fourth down. Joshua Tinch on the receiving end. Tackle made by Courtney Robinson.
Ron, that was an excellent tackle out there in the open field. And how big was that false start penalty a moment ago on Gary Barnage, the tight end? That was huge.
Carmody comes in. Right now, let's take a look at our all-state kick chart. This one right here is going to be from 44 yards. You see the numbers? He's perfect for this distance. 5 of 5. Let's see if the left footer can knock this one home. Flags down. It looks as boy, he would have had it. Wow. Would have been 6 of 6.
Another false start penalty on Louisville right here, Ron.
Prior to the snap, false start, number 81 on the offense, 5-yard penalty, remains 4th down.
Now, that's the career long right there, 47 yards.
And all of a sudden, it looks like Louisville is going to go for it now. Feels like they're out of field goal range right here, Ron, on 4th and 10, kind of in no man's land. How big were those 2 false start penalties? Takes them out of field goal range.
Well, let's see if they can come up with it. The line to make is the 22 of the Huskies. Here comes the blitz. They pick it up well. And he's going to go on top. Got a man there, and it is incomplete. Knocked away, and they went for the big guy, Urudia. Tyvon Branch with a good job defensively. Good ball recognition.
And Ron, that was a great play by Tyron Branch right here. Urudia open a little bit, the ball a little late and underthrown, but a great job of just staying with it and knocking that football out right there.
Bobby, you see with the size how far over the defender he is, but really good, quick ball recognition on the part of Branch.
Boy, and that was big for UConn right there, Ron. Still in this ball game.
Comes a blitz off the corner. Pass is thrown over the middle. Got a man open. And it's the right call as McLean is in the secondary. Can he outrun him? Breaks one tackle. He'll take it all the way to the 10. Brandon Sharp finally saved a touchdown. 58 yards.
And Brandon McLean right here on the little slant route gets inside the linebacker, Brandon Johnson. And now William Gay runs going to try to punch this ball out. Can't do it, but what a huge change of events and momentum as Louisville just a moment ago looked like they were going to win and put this one away.
But, you know, this young man wants to do something really right here because you remember he's the one who muffed the punt. Has great speed.
And his younger brother, James, a big-time recruit as a senior in high school right now.
It's Barksdale who reset at fullback. They're going to run the option to that open side of the field. And here's where that speed really pays off. Lou Allen going to be tackled for a 4-yard loss. You try to go east and west against a defense like Louisville, and a lot of times you're going to pay the price if you don't really execute it perfectly. Nate Harris again.
And especially Louisville, Ron, with a week to prepare because Syracuse did run some option on them last week successfully.
Well, the Cardinals trying to hold on to this 27-14 lead. We're about to go into 8 minutes to play, third quarter. Terry Cawley comes in at tailback now, number 44. Hernandez steps up, tries to get away from harm's way, and he does. 10, down at the 5, puts the head down, and they're going to say out of bounds at the 5.5-yard line as Brandon Johnson was out there defensively. Ron Franklin, Bob Davey, and Holly Rowe coming to you from Retzler Field in East Hartford, Connecticut. UConn trying to become bowl eligible. They need a victory here tonight. They are down 27-14, and right now they are driving the football. Michael Bush, what a night he's had. 3 touchdowns, 61 yards on 14 rushes. The big play, a 58-yard strike to McLean just a moment ago. See what they've done inside the 20 tonight. Well, there are folks flying all over the place. Looks as though Zach Anderson, though, is the one who jumped too quickly.
Ball start, number 69 on the offense, 5-yard penalty, remains 3rd down.
Jay Tonzi, the center. So 6 penalties against Louisville, 4 against UConn for 44 yards. And it's now going to be 3rd down and 9. They've got to go to the 1-yard line. They can pick up a first down without scoring, but they're certainly not helping themselves. DJ Hernandez. Hernandez, high pass. They pick up the blitz. Now he's going to run it. Cuts it inside. And whoa, does he take a shot at the 7-yard line. His head really got snapped back by Heyman. Number 57, Earl Heyman.
Ron, sets up a field goal situation. Connecticut's had 3 field goals blocked this year. So this is not a gimme right here by any stretch of the imagination for Connecticut.
They got to place it down at the 14-yard line, so it's a 24-yard attempt by Nuzzi. Ball is blocked. Louisville hustles for it at the 26-yard line, and making the recovery is Zach Anderson. William Gay, I believe, is the man who got through. Yeah, that's the one that they're congratulating. William Gay is the man who blocked the field goal attempt.
And Ron, he's going to come right off the corner right here. I mean, the wing, poor job right there by Barksdale, the wing, of not changing the path of William Gay. And that is 4 blocked field goals on the season. In Connecticut, if you want to go to a bowl game, you are going to have to take advantage of some opportunities you have in this football game.
So they come away with nothing after that 58-yard strike. And Cantwell wants to throw on first down. Here comes pressure. Wow, he's going to be sacked at the 20, and that is Dion McPhee. Second time that they've gotten to Cantwell tonight.
Ron, let's go back to the blocked field goal. When you bring this guy off the edge right here, there's such an intricate angle to block the kick. All you have to do is bump him if you're Barksdale. Protect the inside and bump him. Boy.
It's such a bang-bang play, but you're right. If you reroute him just a half step outside, then you are safe. Here's Bush. Breaks it open big, breaks one tackle. He's going to have a gain of 10 yards in the play. Actually make it 15, because following that sack, he will have the first down out at the 38 as James Hargrave finally made the tackle. Marvin Taylor had him, but he broke past him.
Take a look at Michael Bush right here. You know, it reminds me a lot of T.J. Duckett that played at Michigan State, now with the Atlanta Falcons. A lot faster than you think. I mean, that's 250 pounds right there. He played quarterback in high school.
Quick throw, got it right over the middle, and that is the tight end Barnage. And Barnage is going to take it inside the 35-yard line. Good for 27 yards.
And this time, great play action. We're going to look at Barnage right here from his tight end position, go right up the seam, but it's set up by the play action. Watch the fake right here to Bush. Excellent throw. And Sean Main on the defensive end, trying to play some man-to-man coverage on the tight end. Again, excellent play call.
So it's first down. It's Barnage flipping from the right over to the left. They give it to Bush. Barnage, one of the guys out there blocking. The Bush is going to have a gain of about 7 yards in the play. Finally pushed out of bounds by Tyvon Branch.
And Ron, kind of a controversy this week down in Louisville. Did Bobby Petrino give Hunter Cantwell enough snaps during the season? You know, Louisville scored 63 on Oregon State, 69 on North Carolina, 56 on Rutgers. He only threw 11 balls all year. But you know what? Keep in mind, this kid played in 7 games, even though he just threw 11 snaps. Threw 11 passes.
Well, they roll the pocket to the right. Now throws this one. Did he catch it in bounds? No, caught it out of bounds. That was Tench. It was just a little bit too late. Probably, to me, the thing, if I'm the coaching staff at Louisville, that I have to be pleased with. This young man seems right at home, seems very comfortable, and particularly here in the second half. I mean, it's like he's having fun.
He really is. And, you know, back to the thing of how much the backup quarterback gets. I think the backup quarterback at USC this year threw 18 balls. The backup quarterback at Texas threw 9 balls all season. So it's not just in Louisville that the backup quarterback doesn't get to throw a lot of balls. That's all over the country.
UConn showing blitz off the corner. They stay at home. They give it to Bush, bounces it outside, and he'll have the first down. And interesting, you see the photographer scrambling to the far side line. They don't want to get in the way of that bus.
That's a good way to phrase that. And I guess his dad is a huge Louisville fan, obviously, from Louisville. And Michael Bush stayed home. I think it came down to Ohio State or Louisville. And And they have been able to attract these kind of recruits at Louisville because amazing facilities and commitment to football.
That puts him over 1,000 yards for the season. You know, the other thing that was mentioned in visiting with the folks at Louisville is they missed his blocking the 3 games that he was out, as far as blocking for the quarterback. He is so big and does a nice job of that. Bush will get it again, and he is going to be hammered at the line of scrimmage. Great penetration. Davis and also Marvin Taylor, number 10, who is a very physical player, combining to make the tackle.
And what makes this impressive, Ron, they ran behind Jason Spitz and Travis LaFew, the guard and tackle that have played so much football at Louisville. And again, the penetration of the undersized Connecticut defense. You can see right there, Bobby Petrino wanted to see Michael Bush maybe break that thing outside. But UConn still alive in this football game.
So they dodge another one. They got it first down at their own 25-yard line. And they got to put it in the end zone. This running play is going to be for short yardage. It's Terry Cawley, tackled by Brandon Johnson. And now the clock is, we look into the end zone. 5 minutes, about to go under the 5-minute mark in the third quarter.
About UConn, 4th year in Division 1A. Ron, 2nd year in the Big East, still fighting for a bowl opportunity right here.
2nd down and 8. For the play action. Deep drop by Hernandez. Zings it complete. That's a nice pass right over the middle to the 45 to Nollis Dewar. Freshman out of Windsor, Connecticut. 18 yards.
And Nollis Dewar on the crossing route. Red shirt freshman right there. And B.J. Hernandez. Great throw right there, Ron.
That's perfect, isn't it? I mean, it's right on the numbers. So they move the sticks. Well, we saw them do this a while ago. Now they got to have enough continuity to take it all the way to the end zone. Allen and Barksdale is the tandem in the backfield. Here is Allen. He's going to have one tough yard. You know, Bob, you were talking about the situation of how short a period of time UConn has been in Division 1A. How about the story in Randy Edsall, though? The fact that he was a coach at Jacksonville a year before their franchise ever went into play in the NFL. So there is a guy who understands taking a team from its infancy, building it, and trying to branch from there. To me, Edsall was the perfect guy for the candidate for the job.
I think that's a great point. Went down there with Tom Coughlin. They actually coached and organized for a year before they ever played a football game. As we see, the quarterback, B.J. Hernandez, gets the ball stripped out of there. Big turnover right there, Louisville's defense.
Okoye is going to be the fellow who made the recovery. And Nate Harris, we continue to call his name. He is the man who caused the strip. Here it is.
You see Nate Harris again on the inside linebacker blitz. Strips the football out of there. And again, UConn's offense, Ron, shows flashes of making plays, but they can't put any closure on it and get points right now. And Ho Harris has had a heck of a ball game. The junior college transfer from Dodge City.
He's got to be close to, he's at 10 tackles now. Just been told. 10 tackles officially for him. It's 2 turnovers tonight that Louisville has gotten out of the Huskies. Harry Douglas in the ball game at wide receiver. Cantwell hit from behind. The ball is loose. Cantwell is trying to make the recovery. Kind of have to think that this was an incomplete forward pass. Was his arm not going forward? Because he got whacked when that happened. And they say, obviously they were calling it a fumble.
And James Hargrave, the linebacker right here, beats the running back's block. Wow.
He hit the back of his lineman's headgear. That's what caused the ball to come out.
And a great effort by Hunter Cantwell right here. You're right. It hits the running back, De'Riante Taylor. And now watch Cantwell chase that ball down.
Well, so anyway, it is a 2nd down at the 40-yard line. Bush, wow, submarined, and again, that's James Hargrave. And we're talking about the game that Nate Harris has had tonight. Hargrave, we have called his name a lot tonight also. He has been all over.
The senior linebacker very active. A little bit undersized, running about 5'11", but they use him a lot in passing situations as a rusher. And right here is an opportunity on 3rd and 6. See if they can get after Hunter Cantwell.
The line for them to make is the 34 of the Huskies. Good pickup on the blitz. Ball is thrown complete. It's thrown short. And, well, I say that now where they have given him the spot, he's going to have the first down. Harry Douglas, fastest player Bob talked about back in the first half.
Ron, you talked about Michael Bush being back as a pass protector. He gets an excellent block. You don't see it right there, but they go after Hargrave right now, the linebacker, out in coverage. Excellent 3rd down conversion, but a big block by Michael Bush in pass protection.
Got a lot of padding to help him do that. Little counter trade. Here's Bush, 30, 25, still on his feet. Fights his way for another first down. He is at the 21. E-step finally put the stopper on him, but they'll move the chains again.
He gets an excellent block from Jeremy Darvo, number 74. Watch the left offensive tackle, Ron, pull right here, and he's going to engulf the linebacker right there. But how about the 3rd down pass by Hunter Cantwell to keep this thing going?
Bush now 20 carries, 99 yards. And as we had mentioned, over 1,000 yards for the season. And that was Bush as he goes. Holly Rowe, let's go downstairs to you.
Well, guys, Michael Bush coming back for the first time in 2 games because of a foot injury, and it's been a very unusual injury. The trainer, Dwayne Triolo, told me that it's not necessarily a foot sprain. It's a small bone at the top of the navicular, if you know what that is actually bruised. He says it's been very hard to heal it or do any rehab because a bruise gets swelling and blood into it. So he said it's very hard for them to recover from this type of injury because it's such a small, unusual area in the foot.
Almost intercepted. Courtney Robinson had an opportunity.
Ron, again, Courtney Robinson, the freshman corner in the game, because Darius Butler, the other freshman corner's out. But I mean, it doesn't get any better than that. Courtney Robinson, and he had some green grass in front of him, Ron.
So it's 3rd down, and they need the 11-yard line. Colby Smith, the lone setback, and he'll get it. Right side, boy, he gets clobbered behind the line of scrimmage, but the man did not lock it up. But then help from his friends, and Robinson, the first man to make the hit.
And Courtney Robinson, the corner, Ron, a great job of beating the block inside. You got to love the way this guy's competing. I mean, he just dropped an interception, doesn't hang his head, doesn't pout, comes back and makes a heck of a play against the run.
Field goal attempt coming up. They're going to place this one down at the 28-yard line, so a 38-yard attempt. The near hash mark. Carmody, plenty of distance, and he's perfect. Knocks this one home. So as the clock runs out in the 3rd quarter, our new score, 30-14, Louisville on top. Back with the final 15 in just a moment.
ESPN's College Football Primetime, brought to you by Best Buy. Thousands of possibilities. Get yours. And T. Rowe Price. Mutual funds, IRAs, college savings from T. Rowe Price. Invest with confidence.
Welcome back to ESPN's College Football Primetime, presented by Polaroid. Ron Franklin along with Bob Davey and Holly Rowe from East Rutherford, Connecticut. And here's the scoring by quarters for Louisville: 7, 14, and 9 in periods 1, 2, 3. UConn did not score in the opening quarter, and then 14 in the second and nothing in the third. And that's how we stand at 30-14. Todd Flannery prepares to kick it off for the Cardinals. And for anybody who thought that because the bowl game is already wrapped up and the loss of their starting quarterback that they might be a little listless tonight, well, that has been anything but true. Pooch kick. taken on the run. It is muffed on the run and picked up by Louisville at the 10-yard line, pushed out of bounds. And now let's see. That is Moselle Axum who picked up the ball. And it's Brandon McLean who again could not handle the kick.
And Ron, again, the ball cannot be advanced on a muff kick, but how about the wheels coming off? And you mentioned Brandon McLean dropped the punt earlier, now drops the kickoff.
More than came back trying to repay his debts. As you see the head coach talking to him, which he did a while ago. He caught a 58-yard pass. Thought he was making amends. But as we mentioned, that was a pooch kick. It was very high. It was a spinner. Those things are hard to grab.
And Ron, he fumbled a punt against South Florida last week as well, Brandon McLean.
Kuhn in motion to the short side of the field, and here's Colby Smith. And Smith will fight his way down around the 20-yard line.
Boy, the Louisville special teams tonight, Ron, have been outstanding. We look at the fumble recovery on the muffed punt, the blocked field goal, 2 punts down inside the UConn 5-yard line, recovered the muffed kickoff right there. That really has been the difference in this football game, has been the play of that special teams.
Yep, it really has.
But poor play by UConn's special teams.
Far sideline, got a man there, just planing out. Yes, he made the catch. Montrell Jones, the senior out of Louisville, brought in the touchdown, 20 yards, and the Cardinals back on the board 2 plays after they get the muff kickoff.
And how about this catch by Montrell Jones? Wow. Also, yeah, I think he had possession. Obviously, this can be reviewed right here, but lays out completely.
That's a catch, yeah.
That is unbelievable catch right there.
Well, they're saying now that the play is being reviewed, but look at Montrell. He said, I'm wanting a vote from the crowd.
But how about Montrell, Ron, also from Louisville male, Mr. Football in Kentucky in the year 2000, goes to Tennessee, transfers. That is great effort. Hard to see, obviously, on that angle right there. It looked like his hand was under that football before it hit the ground. Then he balanced it off the back of his headgear.
Look at this ball. He never lets the ball hit the ground, and he's got it just plastered to his shoulder. And he's showing right there, hey, I caught the football.
I'm giving him the catch. Keep again, they ruled touchdown on the field, correct?
Yeah.
So it has to be indisputable evidence that he didn't catch it. I'm saying that is not indisputable. Give that guy that touchdown. That was a great effort right there by Montrell Jones. You know, Montrell Jones, a big game against Syracuse last week, Ron. 6 catches for 118 yards, 60-yard TD. Great bounce back for this kid. Went to Tennessee, had some problems there. Came back home to Louisville.
These guys are on camera right now. Heard that clap. Excellent.
The review still ongoing. We got 14:10 left in regulation here at Retzler Field in East Rutherford, or East Hartford, I should say. About 23 minutes past 10 Eastern time.
And how about Hunter Cantwell, the walk-on redshirt freshman quarterback, Ron? That was a great catch. That was also a great throw right there.
Well, this one's taking a while. I don't know if that's a good sign if you're Louisville or not, that it's taking this long.
They're trying to find that indisputable evidence.
Yeah. Here comes the announcer.
After review, the receiver did not have possession of the ball. The pass is ruled incomplete. It will be 3rd down at the 2-yard line.
Well, all right, here we go right here. All right, it is in his hands. It never hits the ground. And he is gluing the thing to his shoulder. It is still glued to his shoulder. And I don't see how you can't get him to catch.
The only thing I would say was glued to that shoulder and that helmet. Was it glued there long enough that they would say it was possession? Like I said, I didn't think it was indisputable evidence. I thought it should have been a touchdown.
So it's now 3rd down, back at the 20-yard line. And throwing for the end zone. Intercepted by Marvin Taylor.
Wow. Not only did it hurt the stats of the quarterback, the overturned touchdown, and now the interception, but Connecticut's still hanging by a thread as Hunter Cantwell, Ron, just unleashed this one into coverage right here. That's a great interception right there by number 10, Marvin Taylor.
You know, also the receiver stepped on a foot and was unable to go up. He might have even been able to play defensive back a little bit.
And give Bobby Petrino credit. He went right back to Montrell Jones, Ron. Gave him another shot at the touchdown. But you're right, he stumbled a little bit.
Cawley, the tailback, gets the handoff straight ahead. Going to have 5 yards on the carry. Zach Anderson is the responsible party for making the tackle, and we go under 14 minutes to play in our ball game.
This Cawley is an amazing story. A freshman All-American, Ron, in 02, a major knee injury in 03 against Virginia Tech, and sat out 04. Great comeback story in his own right here.
Terry Cawley battling the flu recently also. Gets the pitch back, tries to turn the corner. Man, what a stick defensively by Rod Council. Holly Rowe, let's check with you. What do you have for us?
Well, guys, Terry Cawley was leading the nation in rushing as a freshman when he tore up his knee, and we're talking about a major knee injury. Tore 3 ligaments and extensive nerve damage. Randy Edsall says it's been one of the more remarkable stories he's ever seen as far as dedication in rehab. Sometimes 5, 6 hours a day it's taken this young man, over 2 years to get back on the football field. Even now, he's still battling some nerve injuries that he is trying to keep the leg rested. But, guys, it's a great comeback story.
Okay, Holly. We've got 3rd down, 3rd and 9. Hernandez, great protection, drills the ball complete at the 37-yard line. Brandon Young. Brandon just curled up and made the reception. That's a good job of that young offensive line.
And you are exactly right. She doesn't want to look, but it was great protection by this young line. I mean, Louisville with 39 sacks coming into the game. Look at the time and in the window to throw.
15 yards. 15 yards on the play. So they move the chains, have it out at the 37-yard line. With play action, Hernandez stopping. Whoa, got nothing but white jerseys coming his way. Nice pickup block. Going to run it the other side. 35 to the 40, and all of that for 3 yards. Abe Brown finally made the stop. Dumerville and Nate Harris coming after him pell-mell.
The pride of Bristol, Connecticut, DJ Hernandez. Ron, you have to be impressed with the young redshirt freshman quarterback. Maybe the quarterback of the future here for UConn.
13 of 19, 179, 2 touchdowns. And he's rushed 11 times for 40 yards. In fact, he is UConn's leading rusher tonight.
Doesn't surprise me.
They roll the pocket to the left again. Here comes trouble. Now runs it back to the right, and boy, he gets covered up in white. Brandon Cox, one of the first men there, and Earl Heyman, 57. He has come in and done a nice job this evening in a reserve role.
Ron, you're right. Earl Heyman, great job. Gets penetration initially right here. Look, he's in the backfield, and watch the effort as he tracks down Hernandez right here. Good effort by that young man.
So it's 3rd down, 3rd and 11, which means they've got to take the ball out to the 47-yard line if they want to keep this thing going. Clock is about to go under 11 minutes in regulation. 30 to 14, Louisville on top. Hernandez boxed in again. Stops, then steps out of bounds just short of the 40, and they'll have to kick it away. That was just about all he could do. Brandon Sharp was over there.
And again, Louisville just rushing 4 dropping 7 into coverage and really nowhere to throw that football. And here is where UConn's problems, Ron, have been all night.
Papasaris stands back to kick it away at the 24-yard line. Montrell Jones, the deep man, and he's dropped off to the 25. 6th time that they have had to kick tonight. See what Chris can come up with here. Good boot, very high, and this one's long. Got this one in that jet stream. Jones let it go, and this thing is going to be touched dead at about the 2-yard line. And it's Branch, Tyvon Branch, who got down there to touch it dead. 10:45 left in our ball game, a 60-yard punt. And we got a flag at the 32-yard line.
Half the distance of the goal line, that's worth about...
All right, Bob, half of 2 is what?
During the kick, holding number 21 on the receiving team. Penalty is half the distance to the goal from the end of the play. First down.
So they'll be scrimmaging from their own 1-yard line. And we'll take a break. It's been all Louisville, second half.
ESPN's College Football Primetime is presented by Polaroid. Log on to ESPN.com. Search Polaroid for a chance to win a new Polaroid iZone 300 digital camera. And in part by Dr. Pepper and your local Dr. Pepper bottler. Dr. Pepper, one taste and you get it.
Tell you what.
Now, I know you know what that is, but that is the old State House here in the state of Connecticut. Beautiful sight here on this crisp and cool evening. 10:45 left in our ball game. UConn looking to get win number 6 to become bowl eligible, but right now they are on the backside of a score to the Louisville Cardinal of 30-14. And out of their own end zone, boy, there's not much space there. He's not caught for a safety, I don't believe. They're saying that he made it 1 foot out of the end zone. Michael Bush trying to fight his way forward. DeRobertus is the man who got in there to make the hit.
Again, excellent penetration by UConn. That was close.
Yeah.
But the UConn student section, Ron, right behind the Louisville offense right there, trying to crank this thing up a little bit late in the game.
Yeah, they haven't given up. That'll be 2nd down and 10. Little play action. Cantwell gets the ball away, throws it complete to the tight end Barnage, and now they get a little space. They take it out to the 8-yard line. Branch and Taylor combining on the stop.
And again, James Hargrave, number 32, the linebacker on the blitz in Cantwell's face. Tell you what, Ron, this is an impressive young performance. His family back in Paducah, Kentucky, have to be awfully proud of the performance he's putting on tonight.
You're exactly right. I mean, that play right there. Handled it nicely. Straight ahead. Here's Bush, has the first down and a lot more as he finally is hit with a knee-high tackle at the 22. And Marvin Taylor is the man responsible for the stop. Right now, let's check in for a SportsCenter 30-30 update.
All right, Ron, the Rose Bowl in the national championship game is set after USC put a whipping on UCLA. Reggie Bush, 260 yards in the 66-19 Trojan victory as they roll over UCLA. And Vince Young in Texas did the same thing against Colorado in the Big 12 championship game. 70-3 was the final in that one. It'll be SC and Texas for the national championship in Pasadena. SportsCenter after the game, ESPN News, Constance.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 87 on the offense. Penalty is half the distance to the goal. It will be 1st and 10.
So they pick up the first down, and then it is a post-play foul, so the step off. And here's a look at what happened.
Ron, that must have been late because it looked like he had the helmet in front.
Yeah, so Haskins is the man who was flagged. And I think that's what Bobby Petrino was asking about. You know, he did have his hat on the front side.
It was a legal block.
Right, but it was after the whistle had blown.
That's some loyal Husky fans right there now.
you what now, and all those, well, those kids there have got jackets on, but a bunch of those others don't.
But you know, they sold student season tickets out for the year. And keep in mind, this facility's not on campus. This is what, 25 or 20 miles, 25 miles from stores?
Yeah, they have buses. He had 60 buses coming from stores.
But to sell the student season ticket allotment outrun, I think is quite a testimony how important football is becoming at UConn. It's not quite what basketball or women's basketball is at UConn, but they're on the radar now.
It looks like the official, the chain gang, blew a little portion of it there, and they're having to fix it across the way. And now they stretch it out. But that's an impressive thing. I know some schools in the Northeast that play at arenas that are distance away as far as basketball. They provide their students with transportation from the university to the arena and then back, and that's the case here. And you know, these youngsters are, they got their student ticket. They came out here tonight in the cold, and they're not going to leave until it's over. A lot of other folks have, but they have not.
Wasn't long ago you thought of Louisville and Connecticut just as a great basketball matchup. It still is.
Oh, yeah.
But football's starting to gain, man. And commitment to facilities at both schools has been impressive.
First down to 10. Cantwell spins around and hands it off to Bush. Look at Bush put the shoulders down and punishing those defensive backs as they come up to make the tackle. Len Santa is the man who came up to make the tackle. Now you take a look at some of the basketball team. The Huskies, obviously, under Jim Calhoun, have prospered. You know, and Coach Calhoun told me an interesting story yesterday, which I'm going to try to get Holly to elongate on, about his love for contact sports, and particularly for football. Second down and 3. 8.5 minutes left to play in the ball game. They set the screen, and that was thrown a little bit too high, and probably a good thing. Kobe Smith is the intended receiver. Holly, let's go down to you. Tell us some more about that story, what Jim said yesterday.
Well, that's right. And Ron, you were saying Jim said that he really liked the sport of football, and that maybe looking back, he wondered if he should have stayed with football because he loved that contact, that physical contact. He's a great supporter of this UConn team. He comes to most of the home games. He had a conflict tonight, but he comes to most of the home games, and he really loves the sport.
You know, when he played now, and he played basketball here, he's a big guy. He weighed 220 pounds. He was, what would you say, Jim? 6'3", 6'4"?
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, he was a linebacker, he told me, in high school. And he said he loved the contact. Pressure off the corner, and they're going to sack him. That is James Hargrave, 3 times that they have gotten to Hunter Cantwell tonight.
And James Hargrave run again off the corner, the outside linebacker. He is the co-captain of this football team. Came in with 4 sacks, 12 tackles for a loss. If it's his last game, he has left it all out there, Ron.
Here's the punt. This one is caught and secured by McLean, and we'll take a timeout. 7:49 left in our ball game, and our score remains 30-14, the Cardinals of Louisville. Well, welcome back to East Hartford. Some of the faithful saying, hey, you know, 30-14. Under 8 minutes left to play. It is a very cold night, so they're going to head home and probably build a fire, which would be a very smart thing on a cold night here in Connecticut. Pass thrown back and is complete to the tight end, and Murray makes the catch, but he also is going to be tackled for about a 5 or 6 yard loss by Abe Brown.
Abe Brown, a 6'3" linebacker, was a safety last year, wide receiver in high school. But Ron, 2 touchdowns, 2 two-point conversions. This is only a 16-point ball game right now, so UConn still has a shot for that bowl opportunity.
In a way, Brown missed 3 ball games because of an injured knee. Pressure on the quarterback, and that is thrown in and out of the hands of tight end Dan Murray. Reese Davis, understand we're about to check with you.
Ron, that you are. We're checking in on the ACC championship game, and the artists formerly known as the Seminoles are playing like the Seminoles again. Leon Washington going in for Florida State against number 5 Virginia Tech. 17-3 Noles in the third.
Now, Reese, I'm going to tell you something. Bob and I have been talking about it. That is a case of a team between the ears. They can't beat Florida State. We heard people say when we were up in Blacksburg, we don't want to have to play them. They've got our number. Well, when you've got that kind of attitude, they are going to keep your number. And I promise you, they are better than Florida State immeasurably, but they can't beat them.
You're right. All the momentum in the world for Virginia Tech going into that football game.
Well, still a lot of time left in that one, though. Our situation, it's 4th down. 7:02 to play, and this is the 7th time that UConn would have had the punt. Montrell Jones, the deep man. Abasaris is back to kick. Gets a good one, and here's his boot. Maybe the best kick of the night. Back to the 10-yard line, and a fair catch is called for. So let's take a timeout. 6:55 remaining, and it's the Cardinals of Louisville on top. Well, here's a reminder. Tomorrow night, Reese Davis and analyst Mark May and Lou Holtz break down all of the bowl games on the College Game Day Bowl Selection Special, presented by Outback at 6 Eastern Time. There are a couple of very faithful fans right there. The person on the right, you can see, shaking so hard, unable to keep the blanket completely closed. Chill factor has got to be in the teens. Temperature dropping to 23 tonight, and the wind blowing here. That running play is going to go for just a short distance by Michael Bush. All they're interested in right now is to not get anybody hurt, run this clock down, and get the plane started and head back to Louisville.
You have to be impressed with the job Bobby Petrino's done at Louisville. You know, his dad's a coach, was a coach, 29 years the head coach at Carroll College. And both Bobby and his brother Paul ran option quarterback split back veer for their dad. Dad's an option guy who is here at the game tonight. The rest of the family stayed back in Louisville for Nick's playoff game, state championship game last night.
This is George Stripling, who has come into the lineup, number 24, redshirt freshman out of Jacksonville, played at Andrew Jackson High School. Lance Santa will make the tackle on him. Bob, let me ask you something you said during the timeout just a moment ago. As Florida State is beginning to thrash Virginia Tech, does that mean that it could be Virginia Tech winding up in the Gator Bowl against this Louisville Cardinal football team?
I think it would be, and it would be Virginia Tech against Louisville in the Gator Bowl. The Gator Bowl's already extended an invitation to Louisville. I think that'd be an interesting matchup.
I do too.
Virginia Tech, obviously a great defensive football team, struggling a little bit on offense. But let's talk about this job Louisville's done tonight. Came in here tonight really with a lot of built-in excuses of why they wouldn't play well. I think led by the freshman quarterback, Cantwell. They've done a great job tonight.
No, I agree with you. In fact, Bobby Petrino and the staff had to be very pleased, because also some of the other players on this ball club have really they've stepped up big to help out the young man as well. As you look at Brom and what he has accomplished in the ACL injury last week. So Cantwell comes in. Louisville 403 total yards tonight, which is a tremendous outing. I mean, Brom would be pleased with that himself if he were here and in the starting quarterback position. But there's a look at the youngster out of Paducah, Kentucky.
Brian Brom, I believe, scheduled to have surgery Monday. Brom on that knee injury. We wish him the best of luck, because he's got a long rehab back, but he will be back.
Michael Bush, one of the guys who returned tonight, and he has stepped up big. One of those players I was talking about. A little draw play right here, and that's Stripling. Stripling is loose, 35-40, out to midfield, and finally is going to be shoved out of bounds inside the 45-yard line by Marvin Taylor. And Holly Rowe, let's check in with you following that 44-yard run.
Well, guys, you talk about the great job Hunter Cantwell's done tonight. Unfortunately, his parents, Tom and Brenda, couldn't be here. His mom is fighting breast cancer and just went through her second round of chemotherapy. And he said he really wishes they were here, because she has been a big part of his football life. He said she loves the game. She knows about football and drove him to many, many practices as a young man. So definitely his thoughts are with his parents back home, Tom and Brenda Cantwell, tonight with their son's great performance.
You know, Holly, I still, as Bob and I have talked about, I can imagine how proud they are at the way he has stepped up this evening.
They should just get their reservations for Jacksonville. Get a chance to see him play in the Gator Bowl.
Stripling ran past one tackler, takes it down to the 37. Sean Main is there to make the tackle for UConn. And we've got under 6 minutes left to play in this one. 30-14, Louisville on top.
You see the depth of this Louisville team at running back. George Stripling, he showed his speed last week, Ron, against Syracuse. He went 82 yards on the last series of the game. They are a talented, talented football team.
Actually, he's the fastest of the backs. He gets the handoff, cuts it back into the short side of the field, and look out, he cuts into the secondary and finally is going to be tackled inside the 15-yard line. 6 feet, 186 pounds, and Branch finally made the stop on him.
And this one was pretty easy for him right here, Ron, as he really goes untouched. But another guy from Florida, this kid from Jacksonville, Florida. I know this, when Louisville goes down to recruit those Florida kids, they tell them Louisville's in the South and it never gets cold there. But trust me, it does. And that's why they built that new indoor practice facility at Louisville.
Oh, 22 yards of that last carry. It's a first down at the 15-yard line. And when you got a good thing, go back with it. Stripling drops the football, and it's recovered by UConn. That's number 40, Sean Main. Second time that Louisville has turned the ball over tonight. So they had a good thing going right there, but the redshirt freshman showed what freshmen can do.
And Ron, you saw his eyes come up before controlling that football. Wanted to look out there at what was happening on the perimeter.
So the turnovers, Louisville 2, as we mentioned. UConn with 3 this evening.
Question now, does Elvis Dumerville, number 58, can he get a sack tonight, Ron?
Cardinals showing blitz, and here they come right up the middle. Picked it up nicely. He's going to have to hurry, and just throws this one away. And now here comes the flag. He got knocked out of bounds very late, and I think that's the reason for the flag. Yep, it's going to be a personal foul.
Roughing the passer, number 43 on the defense. 15-yard penalty from the line of scrimmage. First down.
A. Brown.
We're going to see Dumerville on the pass rush. Excellent job by the running back right here. Colley stepping up and chopping him. And then, Ron, you mentioned the late hit right there for A. Brown. And you know what? This Louisville team is a disciplined football team. I think Bobby Petrino's done a great job. Remember several years ago, they were the most penalized team in all of college football, I think, for back-to-back years.
Steps up, drills this one a little bit behind the receiver, Dewar. Nollis Dewar. You can see the young quarterback, DJ Hernandez, saying, my bad, my fault. Stops the clock. 4:36 left, and in 4:36 we will have Sports Center for you coming up immediately following our ball game.
How much hype will there be for this national championship game, Ron? This may be one of the greatest ever in college football, the USC-Texas matchup.
Again from the shotgun, steps up. Got pressure all over the place, going to run it, and he'll get out of bounds, he'll say, at the 43. Brandon Johnson was in hot pursuit of him. And let's take a look at the BCS, brought to you by Allstate. So SC in Texas, don't think much question about those two. And then the shows tomorrow. Bob, who is going to be the surprise to get in?
Florida State.
Well, I mean, that is going to be a surprise, but is it going to be Oregon? Is it going to be Ohio State?
I think it's Notre Dame, Ohio State in the Fiesta Bowl. I think that's probably a done deal. May have been done a week ago.
Quick pass, far sideline, and he got it, and is heading to score. That's Nollis Dewar. The gamble on the play, and he takes it into the end zone, and that's good for 57 yards.
And Ron, if they can get the two-point conversion, it is only going to be an 8-point football game. What a great throw right here. And watch the safety come off the hash right there. Had the opportunity coming from the half-field position, John Russell, but undercut the throw, and Nollis Dewar, the Huskies, still in it, Ron.
Well, here comes Matt Newsy in to attempt the, no, it's not going to be Newsy. They're going to go for 2 points.
Try to make this an 8-point football game right here.
Short drop. Still rolling, still rolling. He's going to try to carry it in himself, and he is hit. And guess who? Number 10, Nate Harris.
Key play right there by Nate Harris. What a great night for that young linebacker.
4:21 left in our ball game. 2-point conversion fails. So we are back 30-20. Bob, take us through the score.
Ron, how critical it is for the half-field safety right here, John Russell. Right here, he's playing half-field coverage. Now, Counsell, the corner, is going to force the receiver outside, but watch the angle. He comes at an angle to undercut the receiver right here. Instead of going to the receiver's upfield shoulder right there, basically played for the interception. But what a great throw by B.J. Hernandez, and onside kickoff attempt right here for the Huskies.
Victorino has the ball teed up here, and the onside kick. And Louisville, it would appear, has made the recovery at the 44-yard line. So the onside kick is unsuccessful.
And Ron, Connecticut that time ran by the kick. They had an opportunity right here. Keep in mind, the ball has to go 10 yards. But they ran by right there. I believe it was Tinch that lost control of that football for Louisville. But Louisville recovers.
Preston Smith, yeah.
Preston Smith
made the recovery. So it's going to be Colby Smith, 4:18 left to play in our ball game, as the tailback. And they'll give it to him. Trying to stay away from going out of bounds, just let the clock run. Got to be tackled at the 45. Now, coming up after the game, Sports Center with John Anderson and Steve Levy. They'll talk about the run for the Roses tonight. Also, Georgia against LSU, and Colts go for a perfect dozen. Our situation, timeout called to hold the clock at 4 minutes and 11 seconds left. So it's timeout by the Huskies.
And Ron, this Louisville football team, most people thought would be in the BCS this year. Lost 2 games fairly early in the season, but Hunter Cantwell, again, redshirt freshman walk-on quarterback, only had thrown 11 passes all year coming into this game. Outstanding night. Also a great night by Mario Urrutia, the big, tall, wide receiver. But this guy has the opportunity. Now, Brian Brom comes back. He still has 2 seasons of football left. He's only a sophomore. But quarterback play at Louisville in solid hands for the future.
Starting to say, I mean, how could you want a better situation as far as, you know, the way this youngster is playing now, and he will get to play the bowl game. And, you know, Brom hopefully will be back next year, and then some real gainful competition as Michael Bush is the ball carrier and only goes for 1 yard. Holly Rowe, let's check in with you.
Guys, well, as Bob mentioned earlier, Brian Brom is going through surgery on Monday, but what you don't know is that it's a very cutting-edge type of ACL repair that his father Oscar researched and found a cutting-edge doctor. It's a new technique where instead of taking a cadaver ligament from a knee or your own patella tendon, they're actually taking a ligament or a tendon from a cadaver's ankle. It's actually a 2-band procedure when all other ACL surgeries have previously been a 1-band procedure. I know that sounds complicated, but it's a new procedure. They've done a lot of research on it, so Louisville fans should be interested to know that he is in good hands, guys.
Okay, totally different procedure then. Just over 4 minutes left to play in this ball game. And with a 10-point game, UConn just trying to pull out all the stops, everything that they can do to see if maybe they can get the ball to bounce in their direction and pick up another quick score. The big strike like they got just a little while ago.
We're on West Virginia. beat Louisville, I believe, in triple overtime, representing the Big East in the BCS.
Third down and about 12 yards for the first down. Fake it to Bush. Throws, got a man wide open. 40 inside the 35 is Joshua Tinch, and he's not going to have the first down.
Joshua Tinch played basketball at Louisville, gave basketball up for the first time, went through the whole off-season program, conditioning program, and really has had an excellent year. And a big reason for his good year is he went through the off-season program. You mentioned earlier, 6'3", 225, runs 4.5.
And the book on him is a tremendous work ethic. Team leader because of that. They're going to go for this with the fourth down. And it looks like less than a yard to pick up the first. Straight ahead with the quarterback sneak. And I don't know if Hunter Cantwell got that or not. According to where that linesman came in from on top of your screen there, they're not going to have it. Yeah, they hold. UConn holds, so they'll get the football back with 3 minutes and 56 seconds left. McPhee is the man, I believe, at the bottom of the stack who led the attack.
I'll tell you what, too bad the fullback, De'Riante Taylor, didn't have the football. Watch the fullback right here late just go up over top of the whole pile. But boy, if UConn Ron would have converted the two-point conversion, we'd be sitting here with an 8-point ball game late.
McPhee is the man who was shaken up and is down at the 35-yard line. Well, he's up, walking off under his own power, but not walking real gracefully. Kind of a ginger move right there. So it's first down at the 35-yard line, and the Huskies blitz coming from Louisville. Ball is delivered. It's complete at the 41 to Dan Murray, the tight end. And they're going to say that he took it out to the 42-yard line. Remsey is the man who made the tackle. Quickly back to the line of scrimmage as we're at 3 minutes and 34 seconds, and the clock runs. And going up the far sideline, got man coverage, but it's overthrown, and it was good coverage on the part. Brandon Young out there working against Sharp, Brandon Sharp.
Well, we look at Louisville right there, Brandon Sharp. Louisville to 8 straight bowl games.
Sports Center coming up next, and that would be in 3 minutes and 28 seconds. We'll talk about number 1 against number 2, the battle for the roses. Just one of the things that will be visited tonight on Sports Center. Third down. They need to take it to the 45. Quick pass near sideline. Caught it, and that is enough for the first down at the 47. That's Nollis Doer.
DJ Hernandez, much better arm strength, Ron, than I thought he would have coming into this football game.
Well, quickly they get the ball snapped. Here comes pressure, and he's going to be sacked at the 38-yard line. Taken down by Nate Harris. If you give a defensive award, it's going to have to be to him. 4 times that they have sacked the UConn quarterbacks tonight, or quarterback, I should say. We go under 3 minutes to play. 10-point ball game, 30-20. Stands in the pocket, and it is intercepted. Flag comes down, but John Russell comes up with the pickoff. Pass interference called against Louisville.
That hurts the stats, John Russell. But Louisville comes with the safety blitz. Brandon Sharp, number 35. Watch him come right up the gut right here. Doesn't look like he's coming full speed. Come on, Brandon. The ball thrown right to John Russell. It must have been on 97. Brandon Johnson, the linebacker, Ron.
Fogarty, the intended receiver, I believe, wasn't it? Seth Fogarty, number 82?
I believe so. The pass interference, I think, was on, I believe, Brandon Johnson.
Yeah.
97. Safety Brandon Sharp didn't look like he was really coming on that blitz right there.
Louisville comes to the blitz right up the middle. Boy, Hernandez does a nice job of running away from it, and then they run him down. That's John Russell, number 13. He got by John the first time, but could not the second time. Clock runs. We're about to hit 2.5 minutes left in this one. Sports Center coming up immediately following our ball game. Good job of coverage, and this ball just thrown away. I mean, he had some time now. Good protection. Okoye was the man who was finally got some penetration and was applying pressure.
Look at this UConn team, Ron. Amazing that they got back to 500, playing for a bowl opportunity tonight, but really aided, quite honestly, by the early schedule. They beat Buffalo, Liberty, Army, and then their other two wins, Syracuse, and last week their really only significant win against South Florida, but have had their opportunities tonight, just haven't been able to quite execute enough to take advantage of it.
Third down. Started to run, now throws the ball, and it's well overthrown, and it'll now be fourth down. Reese Davis, what do you got for us?
I've got an ACC championship on its way back to Tallahassee, Ron. Florida State, Virginia Tech, Drew Weatherford, Christopher Davis scoring there to make it 27-3. Quarter to go. It's not over, but the Seminoles are here poised to take home the crown.
I'll tell you, that's an amazing thing.
That's why they go play those games, right? It's just on analysis and computer matchups, but
I mean, Virginia Tech just does not think they can beat that football team, and as a result, they can't. Got a man right over the middle, almost intercepted, and it was caught and then taken away by the tight end, Dan Murray. You see, Louisville is saying that the ball came loose and that they haven't. And I believe that official is saying, no, the ball is dead and it's down right there. It is the possession of UConn.
And Ron, how about Dan Murray? Drops 2 passes tonight where he is wide open, nobody near him, and now comes up with the circus catch in traffic late in the football game and kept it between his knees right there to regain possession of that football.
Under 2 minutes to play. Pressure. I don't know how he got away from that, but he's still running, signaling people to go deeper. And 25, 20, 15 at the 10-yard line and gets out of bounds. That'll stop the clock at 1:47. And those that have stuck around, they are giving him a really nice pat on the back.
And not only that, Ron, I mean, this is like Houdini right here. I mean, this is incredible by DJ Hernandez. There's a reason why this guy was all-state in 3 sports, but this football game is not over right now. And go back, Connecticut going for the 2-point conversion on the last series, where it would be an 8-point game, but still with 1:47 left, this game is not over.
Randy Edsel uses the timeout, stops the clock at 1:47, and they're talking it over. And I'll tell you one thing, Bob, you as a former coach, and for fans out there, particularly those that they might be pulling for UConn here tonight, they're down by 10 points on the scoreboard, but you've got to really applaud this effort now. I mean, this is the 10th round of a heavyweight fight, and they are still flailing away right here. Holly Rowe, what do you got for us?
Well, guys, DJ Hernandez is a terrific story tonight. This young quarterback getting his second start actually had surgery. He broke his wrist on his non-throwing hand just about 6 weeks ago. They inserted a pin into that left wrist. And guys, can you imagine if you just had a screw put in your wrist 6 weeks ago and you'd be out here playing as tough as he is tonight? He certainly seems like he is toughing it out, guys.
Yeah, I don't think there's any question about that. And he committed to this program here at UConn as a junior. He had made up his mind and did not want to be bothered his senior year, but recruiting people bothering him. So he went ahead and said, hey, I want to be a Husky.
And Connecticut only down by 10 right here.
So first and goal. Little fade route near sideline for the tight end. If he caught it out of bounds. Dan Murray with a circus effort. Just a tad too far. It was Brandon Johnson trying to cover.
Ron, watch this effort by Murray. Great camera shot right here. I mean, this guy dropped 2 balls with nobody within 10 yards of him earlier in the game.
And now almost makes the catch of the year for them.
Obviously the right foot on the end line.
Yeah, nothing to review on that play. Sports Center coming up immediately following our ball game, and that's a minute 42 ticks from now. You're going to have to hurry here as the play clock is down to 4.
UConn with no timeouts left, Ron.
He didn't get it off. They're going to get a delay of game penalty here, or it sure looked like they should have. Throws this one for the end zone, and almost again, Murray comes up with a circus grab.
I think he just wants to use one hand. He had a chance that time to get both hands up and maybe catch that football, but he just went with the one hand. Right here, that is a great effort, though. Wow.
1:35 remaining. I'll tell you, they got that play off. It had to have been just going to double zeros because it was down to nothing.
Louisville blitzing, Ron. They're coming right here.
Yep, they bring them. No place to go. Ball is knocked out and is picked up by Louisville. Now they get a block, which they're not going to. He's going to be caught from behind. That's Rimpsey. Chad Rimpsey, a senior who is 6'3", 250 pounds, and it's 4 times that the ball has been turned over. Grady is the man who knocked it loose.
Adrian Grady, again, they blitz the empty formation. The ball pops out. Rimpsey picks it up, but watch the closing speed of Colley right here in the open field. Tracked him down, but Ron, that was the last gasp for UConn right there.
1:24 showing on the clock. And they'll take a knee. So now we'll look at our Polaroid image of the game. Hunter Cantwell with this pass right here to Yerudia, who takes it the distance, and look at the smile on that youngster's face. You know, that's a picture he will remember for a long time.
Paducah, Kentucky post office. That shot will be on the wall Monday morning, Ron, in Paducah, Kentucky.
52. Now the clock is running. Under 50 seconds to play in this one. Takes a knee. And let's see where they whistle it in. Louisville headed to the Gator Bowl. And the bowl teams, as far as the Big East is concerned: West Virginia, the BCS team; Louisville to the Gator; Rutgers, the Inside Bowl; and South Florida. And he'll take a knee, and that will do it. Sports Center coming up next, as Coach Etzel's team fought a valiant fight here tonight, but unable to come up with the win over Bobby Petrino's Louisville Cardinals. So our final score is Louisville 30 and Connecticut 20. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. Sports Center coming up next. Over on ESPN News, it's post-game extra. And now for Bob Beatty, Holly Rowe, and our entire crew, I'm Ron Franklin. Good night, everybody, from East Hartford, Connecticut.